presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Arizona.
Beautiful day for baseball in the great state of Arizona, especially in Sedona, where things are probably a little bit more manageable. Here in downtown Phoenix, we need to come indoors here at Chase Field. Temperatures well above 110 degrees. The Diamondbacks hoping to heat up their first home series post All-Star break. They host the New York Mets, who have postseason aspirations, but they've got some work to do. Hello there, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Thanks for allowing me a couple of days off. It's good to be back with you, my friend.
It's very good to have you back. Greg Schulte and myself, we certainly missed you in San Diego, but now that you're back, I know I'm actually going to be nice to you today.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk pitching. And I know how much you love to talk
attaboy.
pitching. And I know one of your favorite subjects is starting pitching, where really the Diamondbacks have been awfully good this year.
Well, actually, I had a little time off. I've done a little research. It would appear as that is the case. They've pitched deep into games, but the starting pitching has struggled. The bullpen has struggled, certainly, but so has the starting pitching. Near the bottom in just about every category. Way too many base runners, way too many walks, way too many stolen bases and home runs allowed. It's been a very tough year for the starting pitching for these Diamondbacks.
Well, now that you mention it, I guess you are right. It has been a rough go for the Arizona starters. Ian Kennedy's going to get the ball tonight, and he's really been a pleasant surprise, if you ask me, Darren. A guy that really nobody knew what to expect with Ian Kennedy coming out of spring training. This kid did not pitch one inning last year because of an aneurysm in his arm. I think he certainly answered the questions. He has certainly been a dependable starter for the D-backs.
Take a look at that graphic. He's got about 70 more innings in that tank. They will monitor his innings. Pitched very little last year because of the aneurysm you spoke of. Now, the old song in the 60s, Meet the Mets. Well, we're going to make sure you meet the Mets again. As a matter of fact, their fans watching back east on Mets television will meet these guys, Castillo, Reyes, and Beltran specifically. It's been the first time since the 8 that they plan on being out there have been all in the lineup together since April of last year.
Isn't that truly amazing? This is a team that spent a lot of money to try and go win divisions in the East, but unfortunately, these key players have been injured, Darren Sutton. They're finally back together, and they're looking to make some hay.
One of the great stories, young ASU product, Ike Davis, right to the big leagues from the Arizona Fall League, of course, Chaparral High School, ASU. We will hear from him when we come back. Glad to be back with all of you when we come back, as we mentioned, New York like hikers, and with very good reason they do. I'll continue to correct Gracie as I am back. Glad to be back with you. Diamondbacks going head-to-head with the Mets. Brought to you by Gila River Casinos, proud partner of the Diamondbacks. Sanderson Ford, Arizona's largest Ford dealership. Southwest Airlines. Visit southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on.
And welcome back to Chase Field. Diamondbacks getting set to take on the New York Mets for a 3-game set. Jody Jackson with you on the field. And, of course, when you look at the New York Mets lineup, it's a rookie that's taking a bite out of the Big Apple. And here in the Valley, fans know him. Ike Davis playing first base today, batting 5th in the lineup. Chaparral star, Chaparral High School in Scottsdale, also played at Arizona State. And some thought it might take him a while to get up to the big leagues, maybe a full year in AAA. Well, that was not the case. Our Geico quote of the game, I asked Ike about the fact that he didn't make the team right out of spring training, but it only took him a couple of days to get called up to the bigs.
I didn't think there was any chance of me making the team because of what they had told me. You know, I was going to start in AAA and I was going to play there until if they needed me, and then they would call me up. So that made it easy. I just went out and had fun, and I did well and maybe opened some eyes. That's maybe why I got called up earlier.
Well, and he led the team in average and 3 home runs in spring training, and right now 13 home runs so far for the rookie. Of course, his name being bantied about for Rookie of the Year contention. His family and friends in the stands here tonight. Well, the Diamondbacks, Ian Kennedy will be on the hill against Mike Pelfrey, and the Diamondbacks a much better home team. We'll see if they can get it done here at Chase Field to start off this homestand, a 7-game homestand here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're back with the first pitch. Darren Sutton and Mark Grace.
His second half is solid in the 70 or so innings that will be allotted on his resume. Hoping to sprint to the finish line. It's been a memorable year for the right-hander. The former New York Yankee, of course, in the other dugout, the New York Mets, trying to climb the ladder behind the very surprising, now no longer surprising, Atlanta Braves. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. And as we mentioned, they're all back. The boys are back. It's Reyes, it's Pagan. What a year he is having. David Wright, Carlos Beltran, Ike Davis, Jason Bay, Rod Barajas, Louis Castillo back, and Mike Pelfrey is on the mound. Ike Davis has been rolling. We're ready to roll. Jose Reyes digs in. And the first pitch he takes. We're underway here at Chase Field with a strike over the outside corner. UPS Store delivers the numbers for Ian Kennedy. 18 starts this year, 4-7, with an ERA of 4.12. His last outing, he was good. Very good against the Florida Marlins. As that one is away. It looked like it might have caught the corner. Jerry Davis said it was outside. But that win for Kennedy just before the break, his first since May 19th against San Francisco.
He's thrown the ball way too well to have that kind of a dry spell, as that one's fouled back here.
Well, Gracie, I think there clearly was good starts with some bad luck, and then he started to struggle. And then it just feels like you're rolling downhill.
Right, that's exactly right.
We've learned a lot about him, though. We've learned about the way he commands the fastball. He pitches up in the zone with that fastball. Throws the curveball and the changeup out of that same plane. And he loves to compete. You love a lot of what he says after losses, how he doesn't make excuses.
Hates to lose.
That's a better way to put it. In on the hands, buried that fastball. As we said, will pitch up in the zone, and Reyes, you love it when he is in the air. Let's take a look defensively for these Diamondbacks, who were winless in San Diego. Hara, Young, Upton. That's the outfield. On the infield, it's Reynolds, Drew, hard hitting Kelly Johnson, and Adam LaRoche. Miguel Montero, got to get him going offensively as he catches Ian Kennedy. What a story Angel Pagan has been. Because of Angel Pagan, Jeff Francoeur is allotted to being a bench player for now anyway, with the return of Carlos Beltran over the inside.
Yeah, Angel Pagan played a great center field in place of Carlos Beltran. And like you said, he played such a great center field that now that Beltran is back, why don't you head on over to right? And unfortunately, that's at the expense of Jeff Francoeur.
Some of the little things he has done as Francoeur, and we'll share some of his thoughts throughout the game, because his temptation, Jeff's, to press when he gets his at-bats, similar, I think, to all of the Diamondbacks offensively. Pressing all year long because of the struggles with the bullpen. Changing at-bats all the time as that one is up and in. 3-0 the count to Pagan. Patient enough, certainly. You can see the on base of 362. Reynolds even with the bag at third. They play him to pull in the outfield, though. Right down the middle, 3-1. Yeah, for Ian, even though he pitched effectively against Florida with the win, his last 5 starts, the ERA much higher. Really blazed out of the gates. Another fastball up and in, and that one is popped up.
Well, when you've got a guy 3-1 and you can throw a fastball by him, that's impressive, because Angel Pagan's he's looking for a fastball. He's looking to turn on something down the right field line. He got beaten by that Kennedy fastball.
It's not velocity, is it location?
I think it's more deception.
Okay.
I think the ball just gets on you a little quicker than you think with Ian. Or at least that one did.
I've always been curious, as we see it again, about one thing. Can you sit in a scouting report and hear a hitting coach, maybe in this case, talk about a guy's great curveball and changeup, and can that a little bit have you late on the fastball, even though you haven't seen it? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And yeah, if your scouting report is, hey, this guy's got really strong off-speed stuff, now you're thinking off-speed. Yeah, of course that's going to make your fastball that much better. But I think it's a mistake to think that Ian is an off-speed pitcher. I think he throws a lot of fastballs.
There's a fastball. There's LaRoche, who stumbles, flips. Boy, they just got it. The stumble by LaRoche, and then Kennedy getting to the bag. Pagan nearly beat that one out.
You see the play there, the forehand. Okay, now, whoa! Then he gets over, and boy, that could have easily gone the other way. Sam Holbrook on the call at first base. And he got the call right, just ahead of Angel Pagan. They just always seem to get them right, don't they, Darren?
Yes, they do. They do a very nice job, and it's the most underappreciated job out on the field, the men in black. Davis, Holbrook, Gibson on around the diamond as Wright takes over the inside corner. As you said, a lot of fastballs to start things off to David Wright. Homered more this year, 15 homers, 67 batting in, having a great year. Another fastball.
Fastball up and in that cavernous Citi Field in New York that they play. 15 home runs for a guy like David Wright. That's a lot of home runs playing half your games in that huge ballpark. Change up and a beauty. First one of the game.
You know you have a good one if you can throw it to righties.
way out in front of that one was David Wright.
And get a big swing and a miss. A lot of times pitchers like this will only throw that pitch to left-handed hitters. So now Wright has to be thinking on 1-2. He sees a fastball that's outside. Amica Insurance home run hit zone.
I'm shocked that he likes it right in the middle of the plate.
He'll hit a few out when you throw it right down the middle. The 2-2. Off the end of the bat, off speed pitch. Wright is erased. 1, 2, 3 go the New York Mets. Southwest Airlines. Right-hander Mike Pelfrey out of Wichita State University.
A shocker.
He was a shocker. It's not a shocker that he's having a good year, though. Of late, he has been getting shocked on the other end by opposing hitters as he fires a strike. Remind us how he gets it done.
You'll see a lot of fastballs with some run, some run into the right-handers, away from the left-handers. And when he's right, when he's hot, you'll get more sink. Right now, he's been getting too much run and not enough sink. And then an occasional breaking ball.
Not a big strikeout guy, right?
No, he pitches to contact. He likes to get you early in the count on the ground with the sinker.
Chris Young, line drive left field, coming on in, playing it on a hop is Bay. It's a base hit for CY. So he is on with his 17 stolen bases. He's only been caught twice. Defensively, the Mets, brought to you by Mercedes, line up with Bay. Not an average to below average left fielder with Beltran and Pagan in the center and right. It's Wright, Reyes, Castillo, and Ike Davis. Good first baseman. Veteran Rod Barajas catches Mike Pelfrey. That defense has never been Bay's strong point. Beltran and Pagan can cover a lot of ground out there.
A lot of speed, as you said. And we saw in San Diego, Darren, Kirk Gibson really liking to go to the whip once he gets some base runners out there. We saw some hit and runs and just some straight steals.
That one is lifted. Kelly Johnson up into the seats,
and they were successful. And it's a much more enjoyable brand of baseball to watch than for the first 3 months when it was sit back and wait for 3-run long balls that, well, rarely came.
This team slugged quite a bit, maybe for the first few weeks, and then when it was gone, they had really no method of scoring runs. Little ball, stealing bases, productive outs. You like to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You like to talk about that, and late walks that tend to score. Those are the two things you lean on.
Do they ever?
0-1 the count to Kelly Johnson. And they're fully aware. Now, Pelfrey's done a nice job this year. 4 stolen bases against, 4 thrown out when he is on the mound. You know, the man behind the plate, Barajas, not necessarily known as a catch and throw guy. Henry Blanco, the backup, is. He's been at it forever and ever. Henry has. Point being, as he chases high, that Pelfrey helps his catchers out. The Mets 8 games below 500 on the road. You see the numbers for Young. Diamondbacks inexplicably 20 games below now 500 away from Chase.
Yeah, their game just hasn't traveled, especially as that one's fouled back this way. Especially the offense. The offense has really struggled on the road, Darren. See a good jump here from Chris Young, but with 2 strikes, obviously you can't be taking that pitch. It would have been strike 3, so back to first base goes Chris Young.
Kelly in that stop in San Diego put up good numbers. He was 6 of 14. 429 clip, a homer and a couple of RBIs. Hanging around as he fouls that one off. He talk about it, a comparison for the Diamondbacks. He'll just make it early for the sake of discussion, and you hope things go well in this homestand against New York and San Francisco. Their last 28 home games are 14 and 14. And they have been enjoying a large mouthful of more offense. Their last 25 road games, this club is 4 and 21. And the numbers are dramatic. We'll share them with you. I mean, just for sake of discussion, 5.5 runs per game in that time at home.
Right.
Away, 2.5.
2.5. You're not going to win that way. You're just not. Kelly Johnson had a good 3-game series in San Diego.
You bet.
But he was one of the lone D-backs, along with Chris Young.
Was it all over the ballpark, or was he mainly pulling the ball?
He got a couple of base hits the other way, but he hammered a long home run yesterday in his first at bat, pulling it. He took a fastball in and just killed it way out into right field. But him and Chris Young swung the bats very well in San Diego.
Tough to block up a fastball, but he does it. 2-2 the count.
Justin Upton had a big game yesterday. A long home run to center. Once again, that the distance and how far it traveled cut it way short. It was very wrong.
Really?
Oh, it was way further than the 428 it got.
I think we'll look it up then on HitTrackerOnline.com.
Well, I think you should.
Okay, good. Well, I'll get on that. You keep an eye on the game for me.
We need to find out the true distance of how far that ball went. I'm saying a good 455 or so.
Really now?
I mean, he killed it.
Take it easy now, Cowboy.
There you know.
2-2. Kelly chooses that one down the line into the corner it goes. Off the base of the wall. Young racing on around. Youngblood picks him up, says, come on down. It's bobbled. He will score. The Diamondbacks lead it 1-0. Kelly Johnson drives in Chris Young, 46 RBIs. Young scores all the way from first.
Kelly Johnson gets a fastball in right off the base of the wall. Bang! By the time Pagan runs it down, Chris Young scores easily. This is kind of the way it started in San Diego yesterday, Darren. Except it's a double instead of a homer. But the Diamondbacks kind of rested on their laurels after that and were run down by the Padres. Let's see if they can continue to pound away here at Pelfrey, who's been struggling of late.
Good pitch, fastball paints the inside corner. This is the long ball you're talking about. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play.
As you can see just how far off the center of that batter's eye. It only got 428. Way, way short on that estimate.
To the right side. Long run. And that one ends up in the seats.
I like the fact that he took a shot to the right side, trying to move Kelly Johnson along.
You were talking about the home run yesterday. He had 6 hits overall in the series, a couple of doubles, and a homer. Well, nearly locked him up for strike 3, 1-2 the count. Gracie, we don't have an official measurement on it yet. We're working on it.
Oh, take my word for it. Really far.
A tracker online has not updated yesterday's homers yet.
Why not?
I don't know. We'll look for it. That pitch is away. 2-2 the count.
Not very trustworthy on their part.
Usually about the day after they'll have it updated.
I mean, it's 10 o'clock Eastern.
Now they last updated on Saturday.
Yep, won't be going there anymore.
2-2 the count to Justin Upton. That pitch is low. Well, any home run to center field is well struck. I mean, in San Diego.
And a really good at bat here from Justin. He fell down in the count, 0-2. Now he's worked his way back, fouled off a couple of pitches. Now he's a 3-2 count, making himself a tough out. That's so important. He's had a good 2-strike approach.
Which is all a part of what has been discussed since Kirk Gibson has taken over. Out front of an off-speed pitch there.
And that's the thing. If you can foul off the tough pitches, and we saw the San Diego Padres do that a lot. Foul off the tough pitches. Eventually they got a mistake, and they didn't miss it. To their credit, they didn't miss it. But they really made Diamondback starting pitchers work and work early in the game. They were really tough outs. And eventually it took their toll on the starters, and they got a little fatigued a little earlier than normal.
Now, Pelfrey's last couple of outings have been not anything to write home about. He has had 12 hits, 9 hits, 12 hits in his last 3 outings. And Justin, a huge swing. Well, walk it off almost as if he
his ankle,
rolled his ankle.
He'll be just fine. Watch the front ankle. Whoop. I don't know, maybe it was the back ankle.
Yeah, just jarred him. He looked like he was tap dancing through the batter's box. 3-2. Outside.
Great
He's earned a walk, as Gracie said.
Boy, he was a tough out in that situation. And now you look up, and there's nobody out in the first inning, and Pelfrey's already thrown 18 pitches. That's what's being stressed in the Diamondback dugout now under Kirk Gibson, about being a tough out. Having a good 2-strike approach. Not trying to hit a home run every single time you swing the bat.
Gibson has been frank. He has been honest. He has been openly proud and openly disappointed. All the things that you would think should tie to this club. Double play distance on the infield. Got to get this guy going. Miguel Montero takes a pitch away. If he knocks it out of here, every time a D-back hits a home run this season, Fulton Homes donates $150 to the Youth Assistance Foundation. Miggy 7 for 34 in July, hitting just .206. He has struck out about half the time. I'll have you interpret, Gracie. Jack Howell speaking of Miguel Montero, using some verbiage to describe his approach, saying he's getting a bit twisty. I'm seeing a little bit too much rotation. Does that cause overswinging maybe from Miguel?
I think a lot of times that just means your front hip is opening up a little bit too quick, and you're pulling off the baseball. That means you're not. His strength, Miguel's strength, is driving the ball to the big part of the park, left center, right center. Looks like he's trying to pull the ball too much, and because of that, he's twisting.
We'll see what we can see.
He's not keeping a good base. Watch him twist. Watch the front side open up. And because of that, all he's doing is dribbling it to the pull side. Keep that base strong underneath you. Keep those legs nice and parallel.
Hold that ball. Smooth feeling Ike Davis going over to cover. His Pelfrey is thrown away. One will score. The Diamondbacks lead it 2-0.
That's just a very poor play by a very good shortstop. A perfect feed from Davis, and then all of a sudden, now you try to do something fancy. You've got the pitcher covered, and you make a terrible throw. That's just a situation where really Reyes would be better off to not even try to make that throw once you have to jump in the air. It's just too difficult to do, and because of that, the Diamondbacks take advantage of some shoddy defense behind Mike Pelfrey.
So Miggy, it's a fielder's choice, no RBI. He is 0 for his last 16, but in this case, who cares? I mean, the Diamondbacks add on.
But look what happens when you put the ball in play and you force the defense to make plays. Credit Upton going in hard at second base, forcing the bad throw. If you strike out right there, Darren, nothing has to happen. No pressure on the defense, nothing.
Big shift to pull for Adam LaRoche. As that fastball sails up and in, 1-1 the count. The Mets were fortunate to sneak out of San Francisco yesterday with a victory. Replays show that in the ninth inning they should have been losers in that game.
That was a terrible call.
That was their lone win in that 4-game series. They went 1-3. That was their lone win. So they want to get into the business of winning here on this trip, especially looking up at the Braves. It's 4 in San Fran, 3 here in Arizona, then 4 in Los Angeles.
Dodgers went in and got thumped in St. Louis 4 straight. Oh, it's always a great day when the Dodgers lose, Darren.
Boy, that's well said. The Mets have played very good baseball here in this ballpark, though. They have not been at all. Even the good Diamondbacks team been intimidated coming here to the heat of the desert. David Wright and Clan 16-6 in this ballpark since '04, the best of any visiting National League team. Not a real good pace to start things, though, for the Mets. The 1-2 outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Adam. Adam 2 for 11 in that series in San Diego.
27 pitches now for Pelfrey. 1 out into the first inning.
Two. Fly right field, easing back to the track as Pagan to the wall. He's got just enough room in front of the top of that wall. The yellow marker out there. Ball just kept climbing and carrying and climbing. I think further than any of us thought.
He just missed it. He gets it right on the barrel of the bat, but it's just a moonshot. Just about 6 inches from going out of the ballpark. This ball club just swings the bat so much better at home, Darren. I know you've got numbers to prove it, and we've talked about it.
And player to player, the numbers back it up. Montero not tagging on that play. Should he have been?
No, I don't think so. I think if the ball for some reason hits the wall, you want to be able to score. You don't want the ball to hit the wall and get away and not be able to score and just get to third. I don't mind not tagging up there.
The 1-0.
It wasn't a sure out. Although, I mean, it had some hang time.
Yes. We're going to get a visit right away. They're not liking what they're seeing. And you mentioned now 30 pitches being thrown. Just a slow and plodding pace, and Pelfrey just to take it a step further. His last outing, Atlanta, 4 innings, 12 hits, 4 runs. Before that, Cincinnati, 4 2 thirds innings, 9 hits, 7 runs. And at Florida, 4 2/3, 12 hits, 4 runs.
Golly.
His last 3, he has gone 13 1/3 and given up 15 earned runs, and opponents have hit 500 against him.
Yeah, that's getting your lunch handed to you. Pitching's just such a fickle occupation. It doesn't take long to all of a sudden just lose any momentum you had, lose some confidence. What do I got to do to get 3 outs in an inning?
3 times a double-digit winner in the big leagues, including this year.
Got Mark Reynolds to chase one up and in. If they're not going to pitch to you, Mark, go ahead and take those pitches and hand the baton to Stephen Drew behind you.
Well said. The 2-1.
Got him to chase another one up. See, that's 4 pitches right there. That really, it looks to me like Pelfrey's pitching around him. But because now he got him to chase, 2 pitches up in the zone, that should be ball 4. He should be standing on first. Instead, it's a 2-2 count. And now Pelfrey's 1 pitch away from getting out of a big scrape.
Somehow got a piece of that one.
Another pitch up and out of the zone. And that's not Mark's strength, up. He likes the ball down. But he's having trouble laying off that one up. I mean, those are higher than high.
He likes pitches down, and he doesn't much like Everett Cabrera, period.
I think he was ready to absolutely end Everett Cabrera's career. That's more in Mark's zone. He fouls it back, but that's more in Mark's zone, just above the kneecaps, not just above the letters.
2-2 the count.
I'll tell you what, Everett Cabrera is very lucky that he ran
away.
Yeah, because I think this big fellow is about to open up a can on him. Man, we almost had a Donnybrook, Darren.
I would have been bitter. Jealous. Very jealous. The 2-2. Boy, didn't get the call. 3-2 the count. Yesterday, I'm excited to see it, folks, along with you. Yeah, a little kick there, huh?
Beep, beep, meow.
The 3-2. Fouls it to the right side. It hugs the line.
Look at Mark Reynolds now spoiling pitches. 35 now. But, unfortunately, didn't get that Donnybrook we wanted. The bench is empty, but it was, kind of kumbaya.
Well, we're going to get one tonight.
No haymakers.
We're going to get one tonight.
Are we now?
Yeah, I've been calling for one for months now.
Tell you what, Prince Fielder sure does keep getting drilled by those Braves.
Runner on second to 3-2 with 2 outs. Reynolds, high fly ball, center field. Belton going back to the wall, looking up, just missed the homer. It kicks quite a ways away. Day plays it on a backup. Mark Reynolds, what a fabulous at bat by the Diamondbacks third baseman. You bet that's big league. 3-0 the score. Kept fouling off pitches. Second triple of the season. A 9-pitch at bat.
We were talking about where he likes the baseball. He wants it there, down around the knees. That's where he does his big-time damage. That's where he catches up to pitches. About 3 or 4 feet underneath the yellow line. But by the time it gets run down, Mark Reynolds and the Diamondbacks now put a field goal on the board here in the first.
1-0 the count.
Stephen Drew now, he's looking for his 30th RBI of the season.
30 runs batted in. That would be the next step. Just 29 RBIs this year. That one is low. Hey, he had a tough series in San Diego. The numbers tell us anyway. You can maybe expound. He was 1 for 11 and struck out 4 times in that series. Yeah, kind of a hex on that bat. Somebody got a hold of it during the All-Star break.
What are we talking about, a hex?
Something going on with his bat. I think Kirk Gibson thinking outside the box, Jack in the box.
Stephen, okay.
Trying to get things straightened out.
That's Matt Williams. What are they doing? Oh, you drew a. What are they having a little?
I don't know. Kirk Gibson was rubbing something on the bat. We couldn't see what it was.
Well, he got ball 4. Nothing happening there. So. Okay, that's something to keep track of. And this has the makings of a very short outing for Pelfrey. He has already thrown 41 pitches.
Again, I mean, another poor outing. Another short outing. When you're going 4 every time out and you're trying to win the East.
That's not the recipe. As you can see, Raul Valdez up in the very first inning.
Slow curveball. Doesn't throw many of those. Get me over curveball. He throws 100 pitches. Maybe 5 will be curveball. So 0-1 the count. Gerardo Parra. Like his mates, a much better hitter here at home. Outside. 1-1 the count. We're talking about these Diamondbacks. A woeful 13-33 on the road. 4 games below at home.
It's hard to fathom, isn't it?
It
20 games under 500 on the road. And it's still July.
Out front, little topper. I mean, you should be better than 4 below at home. There's no doubt about that. But that's darn right silly.
Yeah, the D-backs game just hasn't traveled this year. Any place.
I'll fall short of asking you why, because I don't think there's an explanation.
I don't think anybody knows.
1-2 the count to Parra.
Why don't you send in some answers, folks? What do you guys think at home? Why does this team struggle on the road?
You know who I think might want to hear? Send them to Todd Walsh. Why don't you send Todd Walsh some emails?
Walsh Todd on his Twitter account?
Yeah, that'd be a good place. Or even to his old email. Maybe unearth that if you have it and you're a diehard fan. Fill up that email account. He'd love to hear from you.
I think that'd be the right thing to do.
Right from back in the day. I'm sure people still have. You know, you have the old addresses in your email account, correct? You can send an email to an old friend. Todd's an old friend.
Yep, that's a good idea, Darren.
The 2-2. Little broken bat liner into center field. It's a base hit. Parra with an RBI. Another run for the Diamondbacks. Gerardo hits .310 here at home, about 100 points lower on the road.
And it just makes you wonder if Jerry Manuel's going to stay with his starter, Mike Pelfrey here, or if he's going to go get him. Ian Kennedy now. 46 pitches into the first inning. He's going to stay with him.
Oh, this is not the place to be. Again, when you're trying to make hay in this division. Atlanta off tonight. Philadelphia has already lost to St. Louis 8-4. New York coming in 5 back of Atlanta. Philadelphia 5.5 back. Well, what do you make of those Padres since you saw them for 3 games?
I really liked what I saw. They got about 12 guys on that pitching staff that get your fanny out. Big time.
Northwest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch.
And they put 2 of their mainstays on the DL. Latos, one of their best starters, went on the DL with a sneezing accident. Did something to his obliques sneezing.
Real.
Yes. And then Mike Adams, their 8th inning guy, also was put on the disabled list. So what do? Just call up a couple of guys and have them deal.
And Adams, that was a coughing incident?
No, that was no.
Okay.
No. Latos sneezing.
And then Adams, like, wrongly clipped a toenail?
No. It was actually a legit,
Injury.
Arm injury.
Okay.
Nothing too bad, just arm fatigue. No, it had nothing to do with coughing or sneezing or breathing.
A little topper to Belford. He will end his inning, but boy, what a start for the Diamondbacks. They played 4. A triple by Mark Reynolds after a great at-bat, a 9-pitch at-bat. It's good to be back restoring order with the folks.
That hurt Hickapy.
I mean, it never bothered me when I was a player, I can tell you that. You go out and you play every day. It's a game that you like. It's fun. You just ask yourself, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this? It wouldn't take you long to not feel sorry for yourself. What would you guys be doing?
Asking all of us in the media about this game of baseball, what would we be doing if it weren't for the game of baseball? But I think it makes a great point. If, in fact, you find yourself crying over the nerves that come along with the trading deadline, then he's simply going to look you in the eye and say, boo-hoo.
You're in the wrong business.
That's exactly right.
Because when you're in last place, well, you tend not to stand pat when you're 20 and a half out. I mean, am I correct?
No, you're absolutely correct. Carlos Beltran back, 1-0 the count. And this team will not be standing pat. I'd be stunned if nothing at all occurred.
You can't.
Beltran takes strike one, 1-1 the count. Activated from the 60-day disabled list, July 15th. Played down in the Florida State League for a while. Underwent arthroscopic knee surgery to clean out an arthritic area of his right knee, January of this past year. So they hope they can get some big things out of Beltran. And we talked about how Jeff Francoeur now watches because Pagan has been good. That's a foul ball. Foul ball as Hiroshi give it a look.
First base umpire Sam Holbrook. got a good look at that. And contrary to somebody down there, it wasn't over the bag, so it wasn't good.
Nowhere near over the bag. That had to be a fan we picked up there.
I got to believe it was.
The 2-2, hot shot. That's a fair ball.
It hit you too hard.
And in time for the out.
I think that's a player down there getting a little vocal.
Okay.
I like it.
All right. I have no problem with that.
Did we mic one of the Mets players?
No.
Oh, man. Some bench jockeying down there. Oh, we're going to have a Donnybrook. It's that guy. Who is that? Oh, that's Jose Reyes.
Well, no. Wait.
Well, no, at the back of his shirt says Reyes, number 7.
And that's those great dugout suites down there. Great place to enjoy a game, but that's just a fan.
Oh, Jose Reyes, come on, control yourself down there.
This is how close they are to the game, to the dugout.
Oh, okay, we got you. Yeah, that's our guy. Jose Reyes is the one doing that.
0-1 the count. They are fans like this young man used to be a fan of Arizona baseball. Ike Davis, an ice ovation out of Arizona State, out of Chaparral High School. And out of last year, the Arizona Fall League. You talk about a quick ascension to the major leagues, and look at the numbers he's backed it up with.
And he missed over a month of this season, right?
Yep.
He's got 45 RBIs already. That's doing it.
This is at ASU, part of the all-decade team. 65 RBIs as a freshman. Career hit .353 with 33 home runs. Junior year, unanimous first-team All-American. And by the way, won 7 games on the mound as a pitcher as well.
A lot of people say he could have been a major leaguer as a pitcher as well. Go ahead and just play first base where you're a real athlete. Ooh, just missed.
It's a curveball, throws out of the same slot as the fastball. One of the bigger compliments, I think, for a young first baseman who's already known for his bat is that they won't stop praising his ability to play defense at first base. He really prides himself in that. As you will tell us, he should. Line drive, right field. Upton runs it down for the second out. 23-year-old Davis is erased on a liner to the young right fielder for Arizona.
Ball hit right on the button, but right at Justin Upton, who showed some good closing speed and running it down.
Davis has a pretty swing, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's going to have a very long career. Had some time with his dad with the Chicago Cubs as that was hit to the hole. Marco's going to try to make the play.
Oh, he is called safe at first. Mark tried to recover, shot it across the diamond. So Bay reaches.
Looked like Mark got a bad read on that. As you can see, he stepped back and made the play. Stayed with it. Threw a strike across the diamond. Could have easily gotten that call. And that'll go as an error on the Diamondback third baseman.
Could have gotten the call, but one of those where we play it and we play it and we play it again, and it almost could have gone either way.
And any time you bobble the ball or you muff it, a lot of times the call will go against you. Former D-back Rod Barajas stepping in now.
Boy, he blew out of the gates, had a huge start to the year. You can see the power numbers. Has been quieter of late. Hitting just 160 over the last month of games, one of his last 17. He won some games, won some walk-off games for the Mets early on.
He's got a 2001 World Series ring. He and Damian Miller shared the catching duties. Had a 2-homer game in the World Series in New York. Hit him off Mike Mussina. Oh, what a beautiful change up there from Kennedy. That's a thing of beauty there.
Coming in with a fastball on 1-2. Barajas ready, opening up a little bit early. With the Mets pretty late. He was out seeking employment up until the 24th day of February, and that's beyond the time when pitchers and catchers report.
Oh, dear.
Broke his bat. Barehanded play on a cross. Reynolds in front of Drew. Went back in with a fastball, and Barajas. Well, that bat dies a sad death. Brought to you by Schumacher European, your Mercedes-Benz Supercenter, located at Scottsdale Road and Loop 101. DriveTheBest.com. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far. I'll tell you what, cooking up a good-looking bratwurst here at the yard. 0-1 the count to Chris Young. I'm looking forward to getting back home for some Chase Field brats. Back to the screen, no balls and 2 strikes to count. Young singled and scored back in the first inning. 5 for 13 to start things in the second half with a couple of walks. Pops that one to the right side. That'll get a trio of Mets chasing it. It's about 5 or 6 rows back. Pelfrey with 51 pitches in that first inning.
Goodness.
Second most in the big leagues this season. Paul Maholm with 54 against St. Louis. The Pirates' Paul Maholm, the left-hander, on May 9th.
Just missed off the outside corner with that little slider.
I think that pitch there, he doesn't even have to nibble with it. Hasn't thrown it much, and when he does,
throw it.
Throws it out there.
Now it's Chris Young's turn to spoil some pitches.
Oh, there were some good at-bats, weren't there?
Fabulous.
Upton's.
Reynolds, how about that one?
Reynolds got a triple. Justin walked. 1-2 the count. Pitch is low. Don't forget, anytime the Diamondbacks score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell gives away 3 free tacos. with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day. Two balls and 2 strikes. That one popped up. Down below, a fan from Flagstaff has a souvenir.
Made a nice play. There he is.
It's great.
Nice of him to make the drive down from Flag. Beautiful up there. It's almost Cardinal time up there.
Oh, boy. How about that? Just a nice, easy line drive base hit. Again, protected. Tell you what, Gracie, there's a lot to like. You needed equaling wins, but there's a lot to like.
Well, at least this inning and some change. We didn't see at-bats like this in San Diego.
No.
12 more strikeouts yesterday afternoon.
Kevin Correa?
Kevin Correa had a career-high 9 strikeouts.
Here goes Young on the move, throw down. Reyes can't hold on. Look at CY. Well, between Reyes and Castillo, they have done nothing to help the Mets defensively. Castillo bobbling a cutoff throw. Reyes looked like he had a shot at popping that tag down. Didn't even come up with a baseball.
Yeah, Jose Reyes having a game where he looks very disinterested. Perfect throw from Barajas. He just flat out whiffed it. And that's going to have to be an error again on Jose Reyes.
You are correct, sir.
Stolen base and an error on Jose Reyes. That's 2 errors in 2 innings now for Reyes.
0-2 the count. Pulled the string back on him. Kelly doubled in a run back in the first inning. He is now 7 for 15 to start the second half. Another off-speed pitch. This time, Johnson goes down on strikes. 79th strikeout of the year. So an empty at bat, a frustrating at bat with that runner at third. There's an RBI out there for now for Justin Upton. They're talking about the trading deadline, and you can't expect any sympathy from your skipper. If, in fact, that's something you'll lean on. We do know for a fact the Tigers have a couple of scouts here tonight. Phillies are represented down below. Jerry DePoto, these Diamondbacks front office members, acting general manager, interim general manager. The phones have been busy, just nothing that has added up to something they want to pull the trigger on yet.
Now in this situation, Justin's got to understand what he's got out there. All he needs is just to put the ball in play somewhere. He doesn't need a home run. That was a home run swing he took, and he came up empty.
Boy, the bottom part of the strike zone there.
That was a quality pitch there from Pelfrey. Such an important at-bat to keep the momentum in this inning. If you leave a guy on third with nobody out, all of a sudden old momentum goes right back to the Mets dugout.
Boy, he was hoping he would chase that one, wasn't he, folks? You do nothing with a sinking fastball such as that one.
0.
Yeah, they're cheating in on the infield about halfway. You can see Reyes and Castillo. They'd love to take a shot at the plate. Davis almost to the grass. The 2-2. They're hoping to get something like that to deal with.
Spoil the good pitches, the pitcher's pitches. See if you can find your way to hit one out deep enough in the outfield, or better yet, go ahead and get a base. Drive him in with a base hit. I got no problem with that.
The 2-2. Justin saying in our spring training interviews, when we set the guys down with the lights on in the dark room and asked them a bunch of questions.
It started to make me uncomfortable.
It wasn't uncomfortable. He said a long home run I love it. But a line drive right back through the box to plate a runner from second or third, I like that even more.
All right, let's see it, Justin. He's battling. He's battling. You like to see it.
Walked back in the first inning, had a great at bat. Was 6 for 13 with 2 doubles and a homer in San Diego. Meantime, Pelfrey's just been a mess tonight. To the right side, hugging the line. Down! What a gorgeous piece of hitting. Upton races into second with a 2-bagger. There's your RBI. It didn't knock the pitcher out of the box. Instead, he let it travel even deeper and hit it to the right field corner. Wow.
Kirk Gibson got to be very proud of his ball club, especially his offense, the way they've had a great 2-strike approach. Let the ball travel, a lot like Andrew Jones, and then driving it the other way, just inside the line. Boy, that was back-to-back gorgeous at-bats. One was a walk in the first inning to Justin Upton on about 9 or 10 pitches, and now that at-bat. Well, that's just terrific stuff.
Miguel Montero takes a pitch that is in. All valid points on the breakdown of the replay, except for the Andrew Jones part. He does not let it travel at all.
Oh.
He swings at the rosin bag when the pitcher picks it up.
I guess you're right.
1-0 the count. Miggy's not letting it travel right now.
He's, as his hitting coach Jack Howell says, he's a little twisty, getting a little knotted up. And that's what happens when you're going through it, when you're going through the doldrums. You want to go out and get that ball, pull everything. When really all you need to do is just flip it the other way. Use the entire field.
Well, especially this young man.
That's a strength.
Well, pretty to watch. And it's not, he can flip it certainly and just fight off good pitches. He can also hit it over the chase side to left.
It's been a little while since we've seen a Miguel Montero homer.
I'll get ready. Fights that one off, flips it into left field. Come on down, they tell him, and Upton stopped on his own.
Well, Joe Youngblood gave him a very, very late sign. Really, Justin could have easily scored, but Joe Youngblood gave him a very late go-ahead sign. You can't see, unfortunately, Joe Youngblood on your screen, but you can see now he gave him a very late sign, so really Justin had no choice. He had to put on the brakes. But that was way too late. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see him early.
Well, call to the bullpen has been made. A really tough and another disappointing night for Mike Pelfrey. Well, it wasn't too long ago when he was rolling with 9 wins, tied for second in the National League. Since then, he's got a shot of being 1-4 with an ERA of nearly 8.
Farmers Insurance reminds you to bring your home safe.
the right thing, make the safe play, and just stay at third base. And now you hope Adam LaRoche can make that all for naught and drive him in anyway.
Raul Valdez out of La Habana in Cuba, left-hander.
I love it when you go bilingual, Darren.
Comes on for the 23rd time this year. Usually works a little bit. You can see he doesn't get many first batters. Less than half the time he gets the first batter. LaRoche will lower that number. Lefty on lefty. It's an RBI for LaRoche, and they add on these Diamondbacks. 6-0 the score. For Adam, 58 runs batted in this year. Oh, and it's a taco night.
Already. One out in the second inning, and we're eating tacos tomorrow, folks. He just takes a breaking ball and just pulls it through the right side. Diamondbacks now 8 hits.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of tomfoolery you and the governor had going on, but I have come to restore some order here, my friend.
It's good to have you back. I couldn't have enjoyed myself any more than I did with the governor. There he is.
Well, you should have.
Well, what a partner.
What were you guys doing at night, though, in San Diego?
We had the boys at the wrong taverns, evidently.
Yeah. 2-0 the count. There they are. There's trouble number 1, trouble number 2.
Reynolds, the 15th batter to hit already here.
That's my partner over there.
I don't know why they're pointing to me here.
You got him talking about it on the radio. Governor, we're pointing to you because you did a great job calling games, but the team of Governor and Gracie, the battery of Governor and Gracie.
Yeah, we went 0-3.
Yes, that's inexcusable.
It was a pitiful effort on me and Greg's part, evidently. Boy, they were great shows, though, Darren.
I know. I heard rave reviews.
You'd have loved those post-game shows.
Well, I'm sure I would have. 2-2 the count. I remember those post-game shows that we were able to do on that 0-9 road trip together.
Valbuena.
Oh, those were the days, folks. We might have had some liquids like that with some extra flavors.
He's taking the whole rack.
2-2. With a frisbee slider, never got there. 3-2 the count. Diamondbacks, by the way, are 25-1 when they get that taco run. When they go 6 or more, they're 25-1.
No kidding.
Reynolds knew it. That big sweeping breaking ball, he goes down on strikes. During the month of July, Operation Homefront of Arizona's Back to School Brigade is in need of backpacks and school supplies. Join me Wednesday between 10 to noon at the Cobblestone Auto Spa, Frank Lloyd Wright, and the Loop 101. Free car washes will be given to those who donated. For more Phoenix and Tucson drop-off locations, go to foxsportsarizona.com. We'll bring some tickets out there. Going to have some goodies, some giveaways.
Are you going to use towels or chamois?
Oh, no. I won't be washing the cars. I'll just send them on through.
It's awfully,
on through.
Awfully nice of Darren to get out there in this heat and wash your car, folks. Come on out and see Darren. Are you going to be wearing a bathing suit?
I'll be sending the folks through the actual car wash. The actual, the tunnel with the water and all that stuff. 0-2 the count.
Don't forget to ask Darren for Armor All on the tires, folks. He's going to be out. Yeah. Well, that's nice of you to brave this heat and get out there and make the autos sparkle. That's big league on your part, Darren.
Stephen Drew out front. Gobbled up.
Maybe even Stephen Drew will go have you wash his car.
Maybe so. All I know is that tomfoolery is over. And order has been restored. You two, no more. It's time to win. tonight, as he is knocked all around. Youngster Justin Upton, no longer a rookie. Our text poll. So which position player in the National League do you folks think is the best rookie? Is it Ike Davis, Jason Hayward, boy, Buster Posey, he has just kept hitting, or Gabby Sanchez? 36929, A, B, C, or D. We'll take a look at some of the resumes and give you some options.
Boy, those are some good choices, certainly.
0-1 the count to Luis Castillo.
Mine is Gabby Sanchez of the Florida Marlins.
And that's a good choice. I'd like to give it to Gabby, but I'm going to say C, Buster Posey.
All right.
We'll see Buster in the Giants this weekend. Our good friend Benji Molina is now busy hitting for the cycle in the American League with the Texas Rangers. Out front of a changeup, 1-2 the count. Benji Molina hit for the cycle.
Did you see the triple?
I did.
That was fun, wasn't it?
It was a lot of fun. Ike Davis, you certainly deserve some consideration.
They had the ambulance right there at third base to take him right to the nearest hospital.
Don't know how he took that change up. 2-2 the count. We love Benji.
And we wish him well in Texas.
But not well enough for the Angels not to win the West.
Well, that's right, your Angels. Nope, they got no chance.
The 2-2 slapped and into the seats it goes. I was disappointed in my favorite American League team when they came to town last year and took on the Diamondbacks, the Angels. That was they gave the Diamondbacks a whooping.
Oh man, I remember about 2 minutes of stunned silence. That was when we saw a couple of Little League home runs, if I remember correctly.
Steal a home, drop the ball at first, drop ball at short, drop ball in right. We dubbed it the worst inning ever.
In any league, including T-ball.
That's enough of that talk. The 3-2. Line drive, Young. They're playing on the high.
Good at bat there by Castillo to lead off the top of the third inning. That's the first base hit for the Mets.
Raul Valdez will look to eat some innings, so he'll stay in and hit.
Now, do you bunt here, Darren? I guess
so.
He's going to.
Nice bunt.
Well, he had it at second base. He chose to go to first and get the out. So a successful sacrifice there by Valdez.
I think Mark just thought, I'm going to take the lock, stock, and barrel sure out.
I think that's exactly what he was doing. And by taking the sure out, the odds of a big inning certainly are decreased. But also, if he does get the play at second base, it could have been a double play.
Here's Jose Reyes.
Good breaking ball to start him.
Popped up to the second baseman back in the first inning. That one is inside. 1-1 the count. Kennedy making his 19th start of the year, deserves a better fate than 4 and 7. Oh, there's some help from Reyes. Mark Reynolds may have a beat on it, you bet. Made that fine diving play in San Diego. You probably saw it as I did on the highlights. This time, though, he didn't have quite as far to go, and he hauls it in.
What'd you think of Mark Reynolds in There's a little dust up with Everest Cabrera.
I supported him.
Oh, he got booed unmercifully.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
By the Padres
By
fans.
the Padre fans, yeah. And then he ended up getting a base hit off of Luke Gregerson to all those chorus of boos. It was big league. Good for him. How dare him defend himself for getting kicked?
So those Padres fans feeling their oats. Oh, good for them, though.
Well, sure.
It's always a big compliment to get booed, I think.
You just want to be booed on the road, not at home.
It's not good to get
you
booed at home.
Don't want to be booed at home.
We heard some of that in that Angels series last year we were talking about. We didn't much like that, did we?
The booing?
But we didn't blame the fans.
I was going to say. That series, it was well deserved.
Well, I'm sure everyone's glad I brought that up.
Ah, that's okay. It's a new year. Oh, baby, what a breaking ball there, 1-1. Nobody booing Ian Kennedy right now. He's throwing a beautiful game here early. Now it just froze Pagan and dropped right where it needed to drop.
45 pitches for Kennedy. 111 and a third coming in. He'll throw between 180 and 185 this year. Kelly Johnson, hot shot, plays it on over to his former Braves teammate Adam LaRoche. Ian Kennedy, good stuff against the Mets.
Leading the Mets here, Jody Jackson in the stands, and we talked earlier about Ike Davis, Arizona State product, Chaparral High School, and the shirts, I like Ike, and we have a bunch of them here in the stands tonight for a good cause, and I'm alongside Melanie, Leo, and Samantha. Samantha, what's your last name again?
It's Samantha Cerny.
Samantha Cerny, Michael's girlfriend. Michael Leo passed away October 09, and Melanie, your son, Ike really wanted to use the I Like Ike shirts to raise some money for Ewing sarcoma, which is what your son died from. Tell us a little bit about how the idea for the shirts came along and how Ike got involved.
Ike and Mike have been friends since 7th grade. They played ball together all through middle school and high school. They won 3 state champions together, and they were good friends, and Ike was right there at the hospice when Michael died, and I think he was really touched being a young person and seeing someone pass away. And he had an idea that he wanted to give back, and so he decided to do his Ricky shirt and donate part of the proceeds to Ewing sarcoma research in Michael's memory. So I thought that was really great for someone that young to have such a great idea.
A lot of the Mets fans, of course, in New York, they purchased these shirts. And Samantha, let me ask you, how many of you guys are here tonight supporting both Ike and Michael? And I know you guys had a pre-party.
Yeah, no, we actually had a pre-party over at Marley's down here downtown, and we have a block of 100 tickets. We have a whole section up there. Everyone with signs. We have the I Like Ike shirts. We have the Strikeout Sarcoma shirts. You know, and we've got at least 100+ people here supporting the D-backs, supporting Ike and the Mets. It's been pretty incredible with all the support that we've got. So it's great. It really is.
And including from the Diamondbacks, right? Both teams talk about uniting both teams, and I know that's kind of what Ike wanted to do, especially coming home. These wristbands, Mike Leo on the wristband, and also Strikeout Sarcoma. The Diamondbacks are wearing them, is that right?
Both the Diamondbacks and some of the Mets are wearing the wristbands. It's just wonderful. Just wonderful.
A terrific cause, again, guys, and Michael Leo, a teammate of Ike Davis's at Chaparral, and Ike Davis just very impressed with how mature a kid, just 23-year-old, up here in the majors, and thank you guys so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well done, Jody.
Speaks to Ike and the kind of person he is, his mom and his dad, his friendship to a friend who he lost. I would imagine you age a lot quicker than you can imagine when that happened as a young man. And then you got to like the fact that the foes in that other dugout for this cause will certainly wear that wristband for the awareness. 3-2 the count meantime to Ian Kennedy. Davis leading all big league rookies with 13 home runs, leading all National League rookies, and second in the majors with 45 runs scored. How about that? Strikes out Parra, then walks IPK, as Gracie likes to call him.
I do like to call him that. It's one of the better nicknames. And he did a great job of battling. He was 0-2. It's even the two-strike approach. I like it. Let's hope it's just not a one-day thing. I want to see this. This is good stuff. I like the way these guys are battling, making these opposing pitchers work hard to retire them.
Breaking ball is dropped in there. We're talking about nicknames on a lighter note, certainly. A little treat for you at some point throughout this evening. I'm going to share with you about nicknames.
Big Thunder?
No, things didn't work out too well with Big Thunder.
Didn't seem to, did it?
Boy, that's called a strike.
Wow. Like this thing may have floated inside, but according to Jerry Davis, it got the plate.
Fastball inside, 1-2 the count. Young's had a great night. You know, nice easy choke and poke line drive back in the second inning, right back through the box protecting. He singled in the first, 2 for 2. 2 runs scored, a stolen base. This time with 2 strikes, pops it to right. And Chris Young is retired. So he is 2 for 3. Well, you guys allowed me to spend a little time on a brief vacation, if you will. You and the governor carried through things in San Diego. I snuck to a place called Greenfield Village, which is put together by Henry Ford, the Henry Ford Museum. A beautiful spot, a historical spot in the outskirts of Detroit. And they have historical baseball. They have historic baseball. Classic 1867 baseball, no gloves. Wonderful to be a part of. That one has popped up. But I have with me some of the nicknames.
I needed my glove.
No gloves.
Really?
No gloves.
Oh, give me some nicknames. I like Crazy Legs or something like that.
Now, just to name a few. There was Josh Oxcart Allen.
Yeah.
Billy Big Red Bibberstein. Toby Sticks Booker. Jeffrey Knuckles Corliss. That one is fouled off. Bill Whipsaw Dean.
These are actual nicknames from the players back then, or these are just the guys?
These are the guys that play now. There's Mike Oxbow Aussie. So it challenged me that we need to come up with some good nicknames as the Hall of Famer looks on.
We just call him the Hall of Famer.
The Hall of Famer. fly ball.
Yep, we need some nicknames. Start sending them in, folks.
Like Kelly Johnson. He could take the same nickname as, for example, Nick Moroz. Kelly Soap Dish Johnson.
Soap Dish. Oh, I like it. That's big league, Darren.
Out together and really pushes each other to become, better players, and we take a lot of pride with where we're from and what we're.
David Wright all getting together in the same series. You think about Virginia, prep baseball, an area known as the Hampton Roads. And, of course, last year when these two got together at Citi Field, they look back upon their memories of playing against one another and with one another.
Well, we take a lot of pride in it. We're all friends. We all, for most part, train a lot together in the off season. I think that continues to push us, that we have that kind of competitive spirit, where we root for one another, as long as we're not playing each other, but then we work out together and it really pushes each other to become, better players, and we take a lot of pride with where we're from and what we're capable of doing in this game, and, we just root each other on.
Upton, Reynolds, Wright, all playing together to make their way to the big leagues, but B.J. Upton, of course, part of that group as well. Ryan Zimmerman. Michael Kadire. Some good young ball players. 1-1 the count to David Wright. Coach Townsend pulling all those young men together. They speak so highly of him. 1-2 the count. That was fun to get those two together in the back tunnels of Citi Field. Not really knowing where I was going back there.
Unfortunately, I missed that series.
The 1-2.
That was a series where Mark Reynolds hit about 5 tape measure home runs there, didn't he?
He did. I think he set 3 times the Citi Field distance record. And he dove into the stands as well, face first. He did that 4 times last year?
At least.
Bouncing ball. Speaking of Reynolds, a dive. It's off his glove. It trickles into left field for a base hit. Good effort there by Mark. Couldn't take a base hit away from his good buddy and prep mate that he played ball with, David Wright. Well, here comes the "Let's Go Mets" chants from down below.
Reynolds ranging as far to his left as he can. He just gets a glove on it. Not sure if he could get David Wright. Wright runs very well. But he's just become a dirty uniform out there, has Mark Reynolds.
Well, if his uniform is dirty, perhaps he should be soap dish.
Oh, man. That's a great idea. Just like Nick Moroz, a.k.a. Soap Dish. Oh, I got a lot of them here.
I passed the list over to Gracie, by the way, folks.
I can't wait.
Seating out front, he drives it to right field. Down into the corner it goes, and it's a foul ball. Like he picked on a changeup.
It was a changeup, and he was just out in front of it. So a long strike off the bat of Carlos Beltran. Had plenty of home run distances, but as you can see, it goes to the right side of the foul pole, and it's just a strike.
Curveball, aggressive cut, 1-2 the count. That was up a bit as well. I think the change of pace was effective enough. And then he backs him out of there. Boy, good 2-strike pitch. 2-2 the count. Now he's got choices.
That's exactly right.
Does he go fastball, double up, trying to hit that inside corner? Does he go soft away? 2-2. Slow curveball out front. Two. High fly ball, another curveball that was up. He couldn't cash in though. Beltran didn't do what he wanted to. That one was clearly up in the zone.
He hung it enough. You don't want to make a living throwing breaking balls up in that area, but they're not mistakes when you get away with them, Darren.
Well, that reminds me of our Amica Insurance hit zone.
Oh, man, it sure does. It didn't remind me of it at all, to be honest with you. But Mike Davis, a big swing and a miss. Looks like a little slider. I don't know. You don't see many sliders from
No, you certainly
IPK,
don't.
as my partner likes to call him.
I might be adjusting that, though. I've got the list of old-fashioned nicknames. 0-1 the count. Fastball, beat him with it. Long run, chasing Parra, still going. He slides, he got it! What a play by Parra! I thought there was no way he was going to get to that baseball.
You and me both, Darren Sutton. I didn't think Gerardo Parra had a chance to get to this ball. He goes a long ways, makes a sliding catch, pops right back up and gets it back in. He's played a doggone good left field for a guy that hadn't played left field before this year. What do you think?
I think he's played a good left field. You have a good arm out there, too, which usually isn't the case in left field. Curveball stays high, 1-0 the count.
Oh, come on. We saw for years out here. We saw Gonzo with that cannon. Well.
He's the first to poke fun at it, isn't he?
Well, he hit 57 homers, too.
Well, what about Flipper, Eric Burns?
2-0 the count on Jason Bay. No, he didn't really have a very good arm either.
He could do the big tumble when he threw it.
Yeah, remember we called him Burnsy Luganis.
That's exactly right.
Well, for all that action, ball just kind of went nowhere.
The 2-0. Inside, 3-0 the count to Jason Bay. I do know this. Our good friends that cover the game so well over at the Diamondbacks bullpen, the website, they loved him.
Did they?
Just adored his game. They still miss him. The 3-0. 3-1 the count.
Got to be honest, I'm kind of sorry to hear that.
Careful. Ball 4. Well, I'm somewhat curious what that is, too. I think that's a slider, and he just doesn't throw many of those. If he throws 100 pitches, maybe 7 or 8 will be a slider. We've seen 2 in this inning.
One big out to go. Don't want to make a mistake here to Rod Barajas. He's got 11 long balls this year.
That one is rolled foul.
Got ahead with the first pitch breaking ball.
Barajas, if you make a mistake, can lose one quickly. That's not a mistake. One and one the count. Kennedy, 19 home runs allowed this year. 12 solo jobs, and 7 have come with runners on. The 1-1.
Change a long way, but about 900 feet foul. Oh, man. Well,
anyway, 1-2 the count.
Rob Rojas. 11 doubles along to go with those 11 home runs.
Yeah.
That's worthy of a meeting on the mound.
For the Mets, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. They've stranded 2. For the Diamondbacks, 6 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. They have stranded 5. Breaking ball, 2-2 the count.
Is that worthy of a contract there, Darren? I don't know if that's worthy of a contract. Oh, fun at the old ballpark.
2-2 the count. Couple of runners on. Opponents hit just .218 against Kennedy with runners in scoring position. That changeup floats in. Be careful now. 3-2 the count.
Yeah, you're starting to get a little nitpicky out there now, Ian Kennedy. Go ahead and pitch your game. Use your fielders.
Got him with a changeup.
Best changeup of the night. Good time for it. Oh, I like it when we go Jerry Springer, Darren, but right now, it's still 6-0 Arizona.
Just in time. value item. That's a great sign to see at the ball yard. Our AT&T trivia question, it's a good one, I'm told. Name the 5 players with the most home runs in New York Mets history. 5 players, most home runs, Mets history. Think about that for a moment. Two and 0 the count to Justin. Well, we're going to have to go with Darryl Strawberry, aren't we?
It has to be one of them, doesn't it?
Two and 1 the count to Upton.
About Ike Davis.
Pretty piece of hitting on a breaking ball that's up in the zone. Takes it to right center field, but Beltran is there to haul it in.
By the way, Greg Schulte was nails on the trivia, and he didn't use his computer like you do.
No, that's kind of the sleight of hand.
You think? You think? I accused him of cheating. Let's not kid ourselves.
Did you?
Of course.
Well,
but I think he was a little more legit than you.
I know this little bit of trivia. You and your battery mate, as that one is outside. 26 runs the Diamondbacks gave up to the San Diego Padres.
Yeah.
The most ever scored by the Padres in their home ballpark of Petco Park in a 3-game series since Petco opened.
1-1 the count on Miguel Montero. He singled his last at bat in the second inning.
And you can look that up on the computer. Miguel into right field. It's a base hit. He's got a couple of hits. He went to pull that baseball. Not the prettiest of strokes, but sometimes you just need hits to get you going.
Did we tell you about, you're talking about that Padres series. Is this a breaking ball that stays up in the zone? Miguel stayed on it just enough to line it into right field for a base hit. There was one inning in Petco Park this weekend, Darren, where the Diamondbacks gave up 4 runs in an inning on 1 hit.
What?
Yeah.
LaRose drives that one to left the other way. He heads back into the bullpen area and hauls it in. So Adam 1 for 3 with an RBI single.
Yeah, 4 runs on 1 hit.
Wow.
And left the bases loaded.
Well, miscues?
No, there wasn't a single error.
A lot of walks?
A boatload of walks and hit batsmen.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, that was one of the tough innings. But enough about that.
Yeah. Order has been restored.
Quit bringing up old stuff.
Old stuff. 0-1 the count to Mark Reynolds. How about Hojo, Howard Johnson?
Oh, that's a good guess. Got to be in there. How about another guy on that team that really went unnoticed? And that's Kevin McReynolds. Oh, God, I thought that would have been a great guess. Okay. Oh, I got one. Former D-back manager, Wally Backman.
One and 2 the count. There's Hojo.
Had some great years. One of the great power-hitting switch hitters.
Mark into right center field, racing. Pagan is there. He makes the play for the out. The answer.
Oh, don't worry, folks. Kevin Elster and the rest of those great home run hitting Mets, we're coming right back.
Yeah, it's not Kevin Elster. I tell you, I've been thinking about this question, really racking my brain. Our AT&T trivia question: the 5 players with the most home runs in Mets history. Just really kind of racking my brain about it.
What do you mean, your computer?
Well, I don't know why that's on TV. You can see Hojo, David Wright, Dave Kingman on there. How about that? King Kong. Castillo drops down a bunt. Kennedy says no problem. Boy, he played that peacefully.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. The great John Wooden, the late great John Wooden, the Wizard of Westwood, one of his famous sayings was, "Be quick, but don't hurry." And you can see everything under control, and he just got Luis Castillo by a half a step. Boy, when you can be that 9th fielder out there, take care of your position. Boy, that makes a big difference. Nice play there by Ian Kennedy.
Josh Thole now will be called upon to pinch hit. Now, he is the 3rd catcher being carried by the Mets. And all he has done when given a chance to hit is go 11 for 21. And as they get players healthier and they have a need for another pitcher, they're carrying 11 pitchers right now. It'll be a shame. They may have to lose this young man, at least for a while, till September 1. He is 5 of 6 as a pinch hitter.
Golly. Somebody needs to tell him at the major leagues it ain't that easy.
Especially when you're new.
Yeah.
But good for him. A lot of activity in that box.
Boy, what a good pitch on the outside corner to the squirmy Josh Thole. Boy, making me nervous.
Mm-hmm. Just outside, 3-2 the count. He's 5 of 7 with runners in scoring position. 5 of 6 as a pinch hitter. Fouls that one off, up and into the seats it goes.
I'm trying to think who he reminds me of. Does that have a little bit of Lenny Dykstra in him at the plate?
Mm-hmm.
Another guy on that Mets all-time home run list. He chokes up. And he draws ball 4. Good at bat.
Kennedy slipped there in the end. Let's hope he's all right. I think he is. He turned that ball loose. So there's another good at bat off the bench. And as Gracie says, it's not supposed to be that easy. Young man out of Mater Dei High School, not the one in Southern California, but the one out of Breese, Illinois.
Oh, those Monarchs. Well, they are something special in just about every sport.
Thole last year had a little bit of time in the big leagues. Hit .321. As that one is over the outside. Missed the corner, though. 1-0 the count. Yeah, all he has done in the big leagues, a young man out there at first, is hit .378 in his first 29 games.
There you go.
Shot. And Reyes, who was at a poor night defensively, scalds that one. But Johnson right there. Johnny on the spot.
Well, if you just throw strikes, even if they hit it hard, it might be to somebody. Boy, that one almost knocked over. Hard hitting Kelly Johnson, but he makes the play. And 2 outs. Well, this game's flying.
Is it really?
Well, no. It's not flying at all.
Reynolds on the grass at third. Angel Pagan takes a pitch that is high. 1-0 the count. Baseball's a funny thing that you can have a hitter hit .267 in AAA and .500 in the big leagues. Like Thole out there at first.
Good for him. If he keeps it up, he's going to get his name called a little more.
Mets 13th round pick in 05. Pagan, another great story this year, as that one bounces. It'll go all the way to the backstop. That was a curveball. Not the slider, but a curveball, and Miggy tried to backhand it, couldn't do anything with it. Tough pitch to block, though.
He pretty much spiked that one right into the ground. So now the Mets with a runner in scoring position. And a 2-0 count on Pagan now. Going to have to make a pitch here to go unscathed here in the top of the fifth.
Puerto Rican native ahead in the count 2-0. Reynolds stays in at third.
Line
drive, base hit, right field. Upton's Johnny on the spot with it. Couldn't get the grip, couldn't get the footing that he wanted to, so the run will score. Shutout broken up. Pagan 1 for 3. Came in hitting .304. That's his 42nd RBI of the year. Far and away a career high in the season.
And the wild pitch comes back to haunt Ian Kennedy, because the very next pitch gets rifled into right field. I think Justin makes a wise move right here. He doesn't get heroic. Go ahead, get it in. Hit the cutoff man. Keep the runner at first base. Keep him out of scoring position. Well, the Diamondbacks have had a lot of wild pitches this year, Dan.
Yeah, they lead all of baseball.
They had a big one yesterday afternoon in San Diego that scored a run with 2 outs from Edwin Jackson, who has 13 wild pitches this year.
There are some little things that they hope to improve upon. They add up to big things. Wild pitches, bases loaded, walks, things where they lead the majors. Pretty piece of hitting. That holds the line. David right into the corner. Pagan's out front. Boy, they are wheeling him all around. Now they'll stop him. And he stumbles because of that. Wheeling. Chip Hale, our good friend out there in the third base coach's box, former Diamondbacks coach.
I think he made the wise move there. I think he would have been a dead man at home plate. Justin Upton did a good job playing the carom and getting it into the cutoff man. Now all of a sudden here come the amazing Mets. That one's driven down the right side. Beautifully done. As it bounds around, Justin does a great job of keeping it right there and getting it back in. Chip Hale with the stop sign. I think that's more of a purpose slide to. Now, Mel Stottlemyre going to have a talk with Ian Kennedy, try to keep the damage to him minimalist. Blaine Boyer grabs the ball and he starts to get loose out in the Diamondback bullpen.
Carlos Beltran. Just 4 games this year, back from the minor knee surgery he had at the first part of the year.
Oh, good fastball right to the inside corner. Pretty pitch.
Well, he made a pitch on him there. Jumps ahead with a first pitch strike. Hops in that driver's seat. Diamondbacks knocked Pelfrey out of this game. Mike Pelfrey, the shortest outing of his big league career.
Oh, he beat him down with a fastball, and he's going to get out of this inning.
The play is made in left field by Gerardo Parra. It could have been much worse. The right-hander, 85 pitches. That man frustrated on the road. me, sending me text messages when I was back in Michigan during my vacation. What is Kachinko, you were asking?
That.
And I told you, just head on out to Section 111 here at Chase Field. It's Kachinko. And it's brought to you by our very good friends with Gila River Casino. And, of course, looking forward to calling a game from out there.
Well, that's really one of the worst ideas you've ever had.
But call a game from the Cold Stone stand.
Now, that is one of your better ideas. I'd love to do the game from there. We'd have to have a couple of monitors in there.
Taylor.
Oh, man, that looks good in those waffle cones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yep, we're going to do a game from there.
I'll take 5 or 6 of those and bring my Taylor along and let my slacks out. Fernando Nieve takes over. 39 appearances now, and ERA over 5. Tell you what, you brought up a very valid and interesting question during the commercial break. And I'd love for you to ask it out loud, a rhetorical question to all of our viewers with regard to tonight's Diamondback starting pitcher.
Well, Ian Kennedy it's been public knowledge that they're going to start reducing his workload because they're looking at the big picture. This kid did not pitch an inning last year with an arm aneurysm. So, as Stephen Drew just got blown away on 3 pitches. So, there's your answer. He's been pulled from this game. So, do you pull him out now after 5 innings and turn it over to the bullpen for 4? Well, there's your answer. And I think if you are certainly going to reduce his innings and reduce his workload, I think what he gave you tonight is much more than enough. Go ahead. Pull him on out of the game, and a job very well done by Ian Kennedy. Now you go score a couple more runs.
Yeah,
give him a nice, comfortable win.
I would agree with that, yes. You know, we told you that number, spoke with Kirk Gibson before the game about that number, and Gibby's saying it's between 180 and 185. He came in at 111, so maybe if you have a few of these outings with a decent enough lead where you can go 5 innings, maybe you have 3 or 4 of those, you can add another start.
That's exactly right. You don't have to stop. You don't have to shut him down in late August.
I'm not looking forward to shutting him down. I understand what they're doing. I've enjoyed watching him work.
He's been as consistent or even more consistent than anybody on the ball club this year.
He has thrown 100 or more pitches in 14 of his 18 outings coming in. He has gone 6 or more innings in 11 of his 18 outings as Parra puts that one on the ground. Louis Castillo is there. It's official now, by the way, as Cole Gillespie is about to be announced. Walking up to home plate. And Ian Kennedy, you can close the book on it. And Ian, remember his outing before the break went 5 in the 3rd inning.
Number 5, Cole Gillespie.
And there you hear the announcement. Now Ian is done. Trying to win back-to-back starts, and good for him. Trying to improve to 5 and 7. You also made a point about the beleaguered bullpen, and I think it's a valid one with a 5-run lead. That if you can't hold this lead.
Absolutely. If the Diamondbacks bullpen can't hold a 5-run lead in the last 4 innings, well, then honestly, that they should be ashamed of themselves. And that's if the Diamondbacks are done scoring.
That's exactly right.
Which you hope they're not. You hope they want to go out there and continue to add on. That's how you put teams away. That's how you put opponents away. Score early, but then you don't rest on your laurels. You go right back out there and score a run here and score a run there and put the other team away.
Looking forward to calling a game from there. That'll be a good time.
Oh, it's going to be great.
As long as.
Get our bosses on that. Get that set up. Maybe next homestand.
Wow.
Didn't get the call there. Pretty good pitch.
96 miles an hour. 1-2 the count to Cole Gillespie.
Pretty close, but off the plate.
Late swing that time. He goes down on strikes. Tip of the cap to Ian Kennedy. He is done. He and his mates leading the New York Mets. The former Yankee, by the way, 6-1.
He was with the Yankees, and he's still the most popular, one of the most popular guys going.
Joe and Joe Jr. enjoying the ball game. Boy, that's a great sight right there. And in my own words, after Sunday's ball game. Don't forget, by the way, the Hall of Famer joining us as our color analyst Saturday, and going behind the mask, the Catcher's Show with Joe Garagiola in the booth. We will have catchers mic'd up. Whether it's Miguel Montero or Chris Snyder, both of them will be mic'd up during the game. We will hear them interact with one another, whether they're on the bench or in the ball game. Going to sit down and interview both of them. Tips for all you young catchers. As Ike Davis lines out on the left. So looking forward to that. On Miller Lite, what's brewing?
Mike Davis had some tough luck here this evening. He's at a line drive to Justin Upton. Now a line drive right at Gerardo Parra as Blaine Boyer gets one pitch and one out. His job will be the 6th inning at least, maybe even get into the 7th inning.
.28 appearances, a 5.22 ERA. 1-0 the count. One and one to Bay. Bay at 265, 6 home runs, 44 batted in. Mets fans will tell you they'd like a little bit more.
That's a big old ballpark he's playing in, unlike he was playing in Boston last year.
Well, when Boyer is right, he is no fun to square up. And we've seen him wrong, for lack of better words, quite a bit. And the one thing we have never discussed up here is the fact that he doesn't have stuff.
Never a question of stuff, just location.
Bounces that one in there. 2-2 the count.
It's a matter of throwing not only strikes, Darren, but quality strikes. Staying out of the middle of the plate. Walks hurt Blaine Boyer early in the season. Now he's starting to throw more pitches over the plate, but you got to stay away from thigh high right down the middle. You stay right there with some sink. Goodness gracious. Are you traveling this season? Well,
yeah.
If you are, like my partner Darren Sutton, take the D-backs with you. Subscribe to Fox Sports Arizona's coverage of D-backs baseball on MLB.tv. Catch every D-backs game live or on demand on your computer. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere.
I'll tell you what, you can pick the show that you want to watch. If you're turning on the ball game, you can pick whichever team you want to have their broadcasters. If you prefer a certain perspective, you can pick it right there.
Can you?
Oh, absolutely. Used to be back in the day, you just had the one, which was fine. That made it great to be able to watch the game. You pick a game like Boston and Oakland, you can listen to the Boston announcers for a while, then the A's announcers for a while. The 1-0. Beat him with a fastball. Barajas pops it up. Be careful over there, Mickey. He is, and he makes the play for the out.
It's a pretty impressive inning from Blaine Boyer. Please listen to us, folks. Tune us in. We like you.
Miscues would follow on a fielder's choice, and then an error. And crossing the plate is hard-hitting Kelly Johnson. Then in a 9-pitch at bat, Mark Reynolds with a triple and an RBI. Justin Upton piling on in the second inning, going the other way, driving in a run. He would come around to score as well. It is our Blimpie game summary. Mike Pelfrey, the shortest outing in his major league career, just an inning and a third, 51 pitches in the first. Chris Young is on the move, and it's a foul ball. 0-1 the count. Now, you and I haven't been together last weekend, as we've talked about. So congratulations to your former National Leaguers for winning in the All-Star game.
Well, I'll tell you what, and we said, we talked about it before the break, that we didn't know how the American League was going to score many runs. Mm-hmm. Talking about Ubaldo Jimenez, Josh Johnson, Roy Halladay, Adam Wainwright. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of runs being scored out there. And the loss went to New York Yankees right-hander Phil Hughes. Matt Thornton of the White Sox gave up a 3-run double to Brian McCann of the Atlanta Braves, and that was it. 3-1 final.
Chris Young off the end of the bat. Reaches out and pokes it into center. Good, aggressive, hard turn. How about a 3-hit night for CY?
He has swung the bat very well. And that's just, I'm going to get me a base hit swing. That's not up there trying to hit the ball in the seats. That's just, I'm going to try and get me a base hit with this swing, and he certainly did. And I would imagine Gibby's giving him the green light and says, not only are you green light, but I want it to happen soon.
Young with 14 stolen bases since June the 5th, as that one paints the outside corner. Only Carl Crawford of Tampa Bay has more. He has 16. Pagan, by the way, not far down on that list with 11 stolen bases since June 5th. Slaps that one the other way. Follow that ball, then I take a peek up at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Oh, I like it. What do you got?
Well, what's going on with the Cleveland Indians? I was in Michigan this past weekend, and
it's 5 in a row for them.
Tigers just got handed their lunch.
5 in a row for them.
And now they're beating up on Minnesota.
That's a tough place to win in Minneapolis, the new ballpark there, Target Field. But the Tribe went in there and just whopped on them.
I don't know what's going on there. Manny Acta's got him doing some backflips.
San Francisco's in Los Angeles whipping the Dodgers as we speak. Dodgers, they're in the deep freeze.
Well, it's funny you would say that, Gracie. Let's take a look at our State Farm out-of-town scoreboard. Albert Pujols, there's a big surprise. He had a good game.
Ubaldo's starting to come down to earth.
He is. He is.
I think they might need to trade him. Maybe the Diamondbacks.
You'd take him, would you, as we get a new piece of lumber? Hear that crack of the bat as they bang it on the dirt?
What do you think? Think Ubaldo needs a change of scenery?
I'd welcome him here.
Yeah, I think that'd be the thing to do, don't you? No, Stottlemyre, get him right. A little time down in the bullpen.
Be the gentlemanly thing to do. We've been talking about that historic baseball, where it's all about the gentlemanly thing to do. It'd be,
of course,
the gentlemanly thing to do to bring him down. Let him work here.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll take that stiff off your hands. Come on, Ubaldo.
1-2 the count.
Ow!
Hard hitting Kelly Johnson. So much good food here at the park that we were talking about that earlier. Of course, Panda Express, some sushi.
I'm a sushi guy, too. I like good sushi.
Changed up on him, and he popped it up right. Reyes, and Jose Reyes calls him off. So hard hitting is erased.
Interesting music. Justin Upton has chosen to introduce him. Find out who that is. We've got to find out who that is. Oh, that was Big League.
A run on 4 hits and 2 errors for the Mets. They've stranded 6 for the Diamondbacks. 6 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error, with 6 left on base. That was country music legend George Strait.
Oh, really? Is that who it was? For some reason, I just don't think Justin probably would have chosen the man. But
all my exes live in Texas.
I know you never tell a lie, so George Strait it is.
1-0 the count. Either that or the Oak Ridge boys.
Oh, now you're talking. Just a big country fan, old school country.
Yeah, he drives that one. He hopes it lands in another country. Into right center field. It's not up against the wall. There's the add-on run you spoke of. Upton into third. With an easy slide and a triple for Jay Up. And they're playing his song again.
Everybody in chorus with the Oak Ridge boys here as Justin drills one. And as you said, that add-on run, Justin's starting to swing it well. Had a big game yesterday. Having a big game here tonight. A fastball, middle in. He drives it the other way. No chance for Beltran to get this one. Off the wall it goes. And Chris Young scoring easily. And Justin turning on the afterburners. That's a big man that can fly.
He's hitting 9 of his last 10 as Miggy gives that one a ride into right field. That one toward the gap and all the way to the wall. Miguel hustling on around. He'll throw that anchor down at second. There's another add-on run. Single, pop-up, triple, double. And the Diamondbacks lead it 8-1. 3-hit night for Miguel Montero. Well, he needed that. That hit earlier snapped it 0 for 16 for Miggy.
And they seem to come in bunches when you finally do snap out of it. And it was just a little bleeder. And you start hitting the ball hard. Pagan and Beltran doing some wind sprints into that right center gap. Boy, this team seems to swing the bats well here at Chase Field, Darren Sutton.
Went around on a slider there. 0-1 the count. They're catching their breath out there. Breaking ball is outside. Swing and a miss, 1-2 the count. Here we're talking about music last year. You remember Miguel Montero, who just doubled that
Chacarón.
That Chacarón song. And we gave him the business about it, and his lovely wife said, "Get it off." And that was that. He had to take her on a trip around the world.
So he hasn't played Chacarón this year.
No. How about that with 2 strikes, a base hit for LaRoche. Youngblood throws up the stop sign. So Adam, he's got a 2-hit night. Miguel moves up to third. LaRoche, a couple of singles this evening. He was just 2 for 11 in the Padres series.
Well, the Diamondbacks just doing a really nice job offensively of providing the put away. And that is Blaine Boyer had a quick inning in the top of the 6th, and now the Diamondbacks come out smoking here in the bottom of the 6th. Young with a base hit, Upton with a triple, Montero with a double. Now LaRoche singles him to third base. Now Mark Reynolds with the opportunity to have himself a big night. He's already tripled in a run earlier tonight. I like the fact that they've scored without homering. That's been the problem. Manufacturing runs this year offensively.
Market just 216, but he does have 56 runs batted in. He has 20 home runs. He was 2 for 9 with 3 walks in that series in San Diego. And he's been prone to that pitch tonight. He has chased in a lot.
Tonight he's chased the up and in fastball.
I tell you, that triple, if you missed it, folks, it was a great at bat. It was a 9-pitch at bat. He gave himself up with some protective swing.
Sure.
He smoked one off the wall.
That's all
center.
part of battling. That's all part of a 2-strike approach. Sam Holbrook says he did not swing at that up and in fastball.
$13 hits for Arizona. There's one of them out there at third, another one at first.
Oh, man, didn't get the call
Wow.
from Jerry Davis. I think that's a situation where even Jerry Davis was fooled by that good breaking ball from Nieve.
Watch him buckle. Jerry, that is.
Yeah, he flinched. He wanted to call it a strike. He just didn't. That's when, as a hitter, you go, oh, gosh, thank you.
Oh, my goodness. Killed to deep left field. How far? Up off Friday. Now they score a run with a homer.
Doing that same breaking ball. This time Mark Rose was ready for it. He hit it Mark Reynolds' distance. My goodness. When he hits one, They stay in the air for about 10 seconds, it seems.
Drew takes a pitch that is low. Another Fulton Holmes homer. $150 to the Youth Assistance Foundation.
And that same breaking ball, as we said, he was ready for it that time. Right off the facade of Friday's front row. Reaction from the boys. Oh, baby. His manager and hitting coach are very proud of him and everybody tonight. Mark Reynolds now with 60 RBIs.
8th time this club has scored 10 or more runs this year. He smiles for just a moment, then it's time to get back to work. Two and two the count.
I think Reynolds just likes hitting against the Mets.
Yeah, he has homered 6 times in his career against the Mets. As a matter of fact, he's got 15 hits in his career against the Mets. 15, 6 of them have been homers. It's interesting. Kirk Gibson, before the game, as Drew is retired, said, and I quote, "Mark has never worked harder at understanding what it takes to make himself a better hitter." It takes 2 to 3 years for someone with his athleticism, his raw power and raw talent, but this year he's never worked harder at understanding what it takes to make himself a better hitter. Doesn't mean he is a better hitter. It doesn't mean he's got all the answers. He's just never worked harder at some of the little things. And somehow, I think that man who says it feels like he's looking in the mirror a little bit. A young, volatile, athletic player with higher strikeout totals, struggling early in his career like Kirk Gibson did. Cutting down on strikeouts, things he wanted to do. Well, a team cycle this inning, thanks to that man. 2-strike approaches are great. Love them. Love a little dinker and the little Texas leaguer. I love homers, though. Off restaurants. your bag. It is on Blimpie, America's sub shop. Quest high-speed internet, blazing fast speeds. They don't burn up your wallet. Your Valley Hyundai dealer. 7th inning stretch your dollar. Hyundai, now the most fuel-efficient car maker in America. ValleyHyundaiDealers.com. It's after 9 o'clock in Prescott, Arizona. You know where your Diamondbacks are this season. They're leading 11-1. As that one is away. 1-0 the count. Glad to have you watching in Prescott. Mark's ball just landed out front of your courthouse.
Sure did. Another tape measure shot off of his bat. And Blaine Boyer right back to work after a nifty 6th inning. A quick single-digit pitch 6th inning. Right back out he goes with a 10-run lead thanks to the Diamondback offense tonight.
Fastball stays high to Castillo. 2-1 the count.
Oh, man.
Raise a glass to the Diamondbacks tonight so far. Little chopper. Kelly.
For Fernando Nieve, number 12, Jeff Francoeur.
Jeff Francoeur digs into the box. We were speaking with Francoeur before the game and some of the changes that have followed. He was saying, the hardest thing for me is I've been an everyday player my whole career. He's not trying to hit a grand slam homer every time I'm up. Do big things every time I get a chance. So I don't quite know what I'm supposed to do, and he's trying to have a peaceful approach at the plate.
Well, one thing about him, it's very rarely does he have an at-bat that's peaceful.
I know.
I mean, he's a guy that is a free swinger, rarely walks.
Energy guy.
Yeah, high energy guy and a very talented player.
The 1-1. Bouncing ball this time. And his good friend, good buddy in the Braves organization, Kelly Johnson, with a smile, throws him out.
Catch the D-backs and Giants this Friday at Chase Field. Ask for the Family Friday ticket. It's just $20 and it includes $10 in food and beverage credit. Plus, after the game, there's a fireworks show, Darren, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Call 602-462-4794 or visit dbacks.com/Friday.
Well, that's a great read.
Thank you.
Look out, Boyer. As Reyes hits a rocket right off his glove. First hit of the night for Jose Reyes. Yep, Family Fridays. Okay, you see that bill of that cap autographed by a D-back. Not sure who signed it up there.
Looks like Blaine Boyer.
Maybe. Well, I'm seeing more and more guys come out before the game, which they should. They're not going to get a ton of praise because it's something they should be doing, but I'm seeing,
even if you're in first place,
I'm seeing more and more Diamondbacks, and that's a good thing. Maybe that's a Kirk Gibson initiative. Put your fannies on out and go sign some autographs.
Thank them for coming out here. We thank you for coming out here. We thank you for watching.
Yeah, we're just glad you invited us into your living room tonight, and we trust that you have a good week planned.
Kids are still out of school. Bring them on down. They back the D-backs.
Fastball is high. 1-0 the count to Angel Pagan. Maybe
have a beverage for 5.
Kind of a mixer going on there.
That looks like a mixer.
Get a bunch of your single friends and come to the ball game.
It's a great place for like a first date, don't you think?
I would agree.
Don't you think? Come watch a ball game, Major League ball game. You won't have that uncomfortable silence like you might have at dinner when you just run out of subjects.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the ball game. Talk about maybe Angel Pagan and the fact that he's already hit 6 triples this year. She'll love that.
That'll win her heart.
Yeah. Or maybe the Blaine Boyer. You can explain to maybe Blaine Boyer's really started to attack the strike zone tonight, and that's why he's having such success. Oh, man, you talk about winning her over.
And there's that move you were telling me about.
Yeah, remember that guy? That was slick.
You know, point up at the out-of-town scoreboard and then slide the right arm behind.
Yeah, bam. With the arm around, yeah, that was a big league move.
The 1-2, they wanted high.
Yes!
He got it there. He hit his spot. Love is in the air at the ballpark.
That'll make you want to marry her.
Time now for the Valley Hyundai dealer 7th inning stretch. Your dollar. Will you be my Valentine?
Game show. And Joe, there's a word that's been bandied about a lot, and that's approach. The Diamondbacks' offensive approach tonight. What did you see? Did you like it?
Great to see the D-backs bring the fun with it. But more importantly, what sticks out to me is the 2-strike approach. Huge 2-strike base hits and 2-strike walks. That's a recipe for success.
We'll break it down. And Darren, I asked the question, will the real Arizona Diamondbacks please stand up?
Boy, that's a very good question, Todd. I look forward to discussing it with you. We've been asking ourselves that all year long. And if this is to be the real Diamondbacks, even if it's only for the last couple of months of the season, we'll take it. There's no doubt about it. Elmer descends, veteran right-hander. A nice job in a stuntman role for the New York Mets.
What I like, just inspired baseball tonight, Darren.
That's a better way to put it. I agree.
You know, it's easy to say, oh, gosh, this is great. You know, you've scored 11 runs and you've held your opponent to 1. And whether it's a tie game 3-3, I just think the word inspired is coming to me, you know, because I am such a wordsmith.
I think so, too. Well, the inspired part of it, anyway.
Oh, yeah, I'm really not a wordsmith.
Yes. Well, as that one is a pitch that is high. Augie Ojeda. 6 hits on the season. Chance to hop off the bench and see some time.
And the Augie chants are going on.
3-0. Well, that's what he does so well when he's right. Find a way to work through. Get himself on reach. And our good friend Jim Weber, who is leading all the cheers down below, has got to be pleased with that. And now Chris Young. Oh, is the Augie, oi, oi, oi chants down below.
Yeah, Jim Weber never misses a chance to lead the entire section right behind home plate. And Augie, oi, oi, oi. Just beaming ear to ear after that 4-pitch walk. There he is. Out of breath after all those chants.
He is catching his breath. He's more dialed in on the next hitter now. One of our fine support staff of the ownership group. One of the, I guess say one of our bosses.
Sure.
Good man. Many fine investors in this club. 1-2 the count. But a cheerleader at heart.
A D-back fan at heart.
Oh, you bet. And an Augie fan.
Oh, loves Augie O'Hara.
Chops that one foul. 1-2 the count to Chris Young. Now Young singled and scored in the first, did the same in the second, and again in the sixth inning. He's got a stolen base.
He's had another very good game. Got the average up to 274 as we speak.
54 runs scored this year. Broke his bat, ground ball, flag. 1-2. Turner got it started at third, the new third baseman. And Justin gets it rolled over. 5-4-3 on the double play. Saw Frank Boer in right field a moment ago, part of that duo of new ball players.
Now at second baseman, Kellen Johnson.
Here's H.H. Johnson.
Huh?
Swing and a miss. Trying to drive that one somewhere into the gap. Well, a hard hit.
Oh. Grew up in Southern California. That was always Hacienda Heights.
The 0-1. Hot shot. This time, Louis Castillo erases H.H.
Oh, I like it. That's not quite as good as Soap Dish.
Grace, Darren Sutton, Jody Jackson, and you. Who is the best rookie? Well, you say Jason Hayward.
He's very good.
Gabby Sanchez, only 5% voted for the man who may be the rookie of the year if they
Gabby
voted
Sanchez
right now.
got better numbers than any of them, and he's played all year long.
Sam Demmel comes on.
Vote for Gabby Sanchez, folks. I know you can do it. Just look up the numbers, and you'll see. Gabby Sanchez for Rookie of the Year.
Which would be a good vote if you weren't voting for Buster Posey.
Terrific player.
Go ahead and vote for Buster.
He's been around for a month and a half or so.
Yeah. Come on out and vote for Buster Posey.
Gabby Sanchez, all year long, been a terrific first baseman for the Florida Marlins.
Boy, and where would those San Francisco Giants be without the young man Buster Posey out of Florida State?
He is a terrific player, no question about it. But he's probably running a distant fourth in the reality of the Rookie of the Year.
Hitting about 350.
Doing a terrific job. Gabby Sanchez.
We'll see him this weekend. That one is outside. Sam Demmel, 1-1 the count. 12th time this year. Demmel starting to pile up some major league innings, acquired in the Connor Jackson deal with the Oakland Athletics. The 1-1.
Haven't been keeping up with our old buddy Kojak. How's he doing in Oakland?
Well, last I checked, he had gone on the disabled list with a hamstring injury.
Oh, really?
I think it's worth another look to see if.
Hey, he had a hamstring injury here.
Yes. Yes.
That cold weather in Oakland can get you.
He only played in 14 games, hitting .267 with no homers. The other way. That's a foul ball. I tend to think he's on the disabled list.
Really?
We're going to check that out, though. Good guy.
Very good guy. We like Kojak.
Yeah, still in the DL. He hasn't played since June 30th.
That's a shame. Sam Demmel, though, he's throwing the ball awfully well for the D-backs in the handful of times he's been used. 13 innings in.
Well, from the moment he arrived, whether it was in Fenway Park doing work, whether it was against the Detroit Tigers in the Motor City, he has not been overwhelmed at all. Right off the end of the bat, and a fly ball to right field. Justin Upton is there to make the play. Turner is erased.
I like the fact that in his 13 and a third innings, only 3 walks. So he throws the ball over the plate, which is more than half the battle when you're coming out of the bullpen.
You might get him. You're going to hit a strike, and you're going to find a hole somewhere. That one fires right to the backstop. Now coming on the air, I think we issued a respectful challenge for the second half for the Diamondback starting rotation. I think at times, because of the struggling bullpen, has been casted a bunch that has been dependable. Well, they've eaten innings, but overall they haven't been dependable, and the numbers back that up. And tonight, a good start. I mean, a shorter outing for Ian Kennedy with intention, though. They're monitoring his innings.
You're going to start seeing more and more of that as the year goes on. 5, maybe 6 innings. But also, I think Kirk Gibson wants to stretch out the bullpen as well. Start using Blaine Boyer for 2 innings instead of just having a 6th inning guy, a 7th inning guy, an 8th inning guy. And still, here we are in late July. We still really don't know who the closer is for the Diamondbacks.
And usually when your bullpen has a collective ERA of 6.78, that'll be the case. Save percentage of only 55% conversion rates, the lowest in the game. The 3-1. Hot shot off of Demmel. Beltran into center field. So Carlos with a single.
That was a rope.
Buggy whipped that one, didn't he?
That's the way he swings. Boy, he gets such bat speed. Not a big guy per se, but certainly a strong guy.
And they have to kind of grab hold of that topic as local product Ike Davis digs back in, hitless tonight. You know, the challenge that the rotation, I would imagine they have for one another. The bullpen, you know that they take pride in the fact that they want to have all of us talking better about what they're accomplishing. Gets old being talked about in the 7 and 8 ERA range.
Yeah, of course it does. As well it should.
Two-strike approach. That has been challenged by Kirk Gibson. As Davis goes around there.
Brian Knight with the call there. Ike Davis, he is uncoiling, trying to hit the ball a mile. But he sits in an 0-2 hole. Now let's see if he goes to a two-strike approach or if he just has a, well, we're down 10 at bat. Yeah, he's still swinging hard.
One and two the count. Arizona playing tonight at 34 and 58. That is 5 victories behind last year's pace at this point. Talk about challenging yourself, but avoiding 100 losses. Shot out front. It's fouled off into the corner.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very cool. Ike Davis for president.
I didn't know he had political aspirations.
Man, I did not either. Kind of a.
Well, he had some leadership ability. You could sense it in the interview he did with Jody Jackson. It's a presence to him. Politics could be right around the corner. Fastball, fly ball, well struck left field.
I didn't know he was going to go like a former Senator Jim Bunning. Go right from the field to Washington, D.C. Wow. Didn't know he had those aspirations. Good luck, kid. Got my vote.
Well, his campaign manager, of course, very successful.
Look at this. Yeah, that's big league.
You know, you have kind of a guy that's in politics, managing campaigns. James Carville has that shaved head. Well, my favorite guy with the shaved head, that bald dome, his campaign manager for Ike, Mr. Met. Mr. Met is the campaign manager.
The Arizona Diamondbacks will be retiring Luis Gonzalez's number 20 on Saturday, August 7th during a pregame ceremony, and Mr. Met will not be there. To commemorate the event, the first 15,000 fans will get a Luis Gonzalez bobblehead courtesy of Chase. Call 602-462-4794 or log on to dbacks.com. Oh, Mr. Met's a terrible mascot. Matt Williams and Joel Youngblood. No, they're bald. There's Mr. Met.
I'll tell you, Mr. Redlegs in Cincinnati, he is fabulous. Mr. Met is the best of all the mascots. Bay goes down on strikes.
Well, he's a terrible mascot. Right now, his Mets are having a terrible game.
Jody Jackson with you as we see Tom Candiotti, former knuckleballer. While we look ahead to the pitching matchup tomorrow night, the Diamondbacks will send Barry Enright to the mound, but they will face R.A. Dickey, who's throwing the knuckleball now in the 5th year, and he's had a good year, 6-3, 2.63 ERA. He started throwing it about 5 years ago to kind of revive his career, and we'll try to catch up with Tom Candiotti tomorrow before the game, talk a little bit about the keys to throwing it, how it is thrown, and then, Mark Grace, the question for you is, how well did you do against knuckleballers, and how tough is it as a hitter to obviously see different types of pitchers and then get thrown kind of the knuckleballer in the middle of the series?
Yeah, knuckleballers can put you into a slump. And I was never a big fan. Tom Candiotti threw knuckleballs, but he also threw a lot of curveballs and fastballs. He wasn't like Tim Wakefield, who throws 90% knuckleballs. So I think Candyman, I was like 3 for 13 off of Candyman. I think we've looked that up over the years that he's been in the booth. I didn't do much off him, but not sure of my numbers off somebody like a Tim Wakefield or a Charlie Huff.
Well, and Tom Candiotti will join us and speak about it tomorrow. Pedro Feliciano goes to work for the 51st time this year. What a good year he has had.
The side-wheeling lefty. I've just been informed I was 3 for 11 off Tim Wakefield.
Well done.
Probably with 3 home runs.
I'm sure that's the case.
No, it's not true. So, all I know is when a knuckleballer's on the mound, the catcher seems to go to the backstop a lot.
Well, and that's the other thing. The young man we were speaking of earlier, Josh Tolley, does a good job handling the knuckleball, maybe the best.
Yeah.
So that's another reason to keep him in the big leagues.
I've just been told I was 8 for 22 off of Tom Candiotti.
Well, that's very good. Justin Upton out to third. Turner fields and fires in time for the out.
The great Bob Uecker said he said, what was your game plan on catching a knuckleballer? He said, catching a knuckleball was easy. You just go back to the backstop and pick it up when it stops rolling.
Miguel Montero. That'll be fun.
It's nice of Tom Candiotti to join us tomorrow to maybe give some tips on throwing the knuckleball.
Oh, it'll be great.
Man, how he grips it. There he is. Thank you very much to Tom Candiotti for agreeing to join us.
Well, it's rare anymore. I mean, he can talk pitching and do so very well, but when he can talk knuckleballs.
Absolutely.
So he jumped at the chance when it was mentioned. We'd love to have you on.
What was it, last year in Boston, or was it 2 years ago in Boston, that Wakefield was going to pitch against the Diamondbacks that night, so they had Tom Candiotti come out and throw batting practice early to the boys. And we got some footage of the early batting practice, and Candyman was throwing that knuckleball, and not one Diamondback hit a line drive. They were swinging and missing. They were hitting little dribblers, and I was like, these guys have no chance tonight. And needless to say, Tim Wakefield carved them up.
3-1 the count. Back to the screen with a big hack, 3-2. So we'll get Tom's insights. Maybe have him stay over for a couple of innings.
Looking forward to that. Might just have him in here, and I'll go over to the radio side for a while.
Now, we've already seen what you two do together. You and the Governor.
Yeah, me and the Governor.
26 runs and 0-3.
We went 0-3.
So.
Yeah, like you and Candyman were the 27 Yankees.
Miguel Montero goes down with a slider and a strikeout. And Adam LaRoche now. We'll talk a little bit more in our show tomorrow as well, pregame show maybe for a bit, but also during the game, about things to shoot for. What do you play for? What kind of pride? Is it just being a spoiler? Well, absolutely not. I mean, right now this club, as we mentioned, on pace to drop 102. And you got to turn that around. Got to shake that pace. After 92 games back in 98, Arizona was 31-61. They went 2 below the rest of the way to avoid 100 losses.
That was an expansion team.
Expansion team, that's exactly right. Buck Showalter was open about talking about the fact that we're not going to lose 100 games. The 04 team was the same 31-61 after 92 games. They went 20-50 the rest of the way.
Well, the 2010 crew is certainly not an expansion team, and actually a team that was told by former bosses here that this team was built to go deep into the playoffs. And when you're telling anybody that'll listen that this team is supposed to go deep into the playoffs, you better not lose 100 games. Can't say we're going to be throwing ticker tape down Central Avenue and then all of a sudden lose 100. I mean, come on, Darren.
The 1-2. Big sweeping bender. LaRoche, a single twice, fly to right, fly to left, scored a run, drove in a run. It'd be nice to see this club put together a good couple of weeks. Maybe play a dozen games and lose a pair.
In order to do that, they got to tighten it up on the road.
The 1-2. Into the corner. There's a knuckling line drive. Speaking of, off the wall, Francoeur will play it. A 3-hit night for Adam LaRoche. And a double. And for Adam, his 20th double of the year.
He hangs in there nicely on the breaking ball and just rifles it past Jeff Francoeur right into your living room, folks. And a 2-out double. And Mark Reynolds, who's having a monster night. Well, you just got your wish there, sweetheart. Happy birthday.
Mark Reynolds, 0-1 the count. Mark Reynolds is, what is that, my superhero?
Yeah, my hero.
That's great.
Got the flock of seagulls hairdo behind that.
Oh, young man, you pick a pretty good one. A guy who plays hard, who plays hurt, who takes accountability, who's far from perfect. We'll be the first to tell you that.
Never heard of anybody that was perfect.
The 1-1. Roller into the hole. They're going to stop him. So Mark Reynolds with another hit. He's a double away from hitting for the cycle. There's something heroic about that. 3-hit night. Season high 16 hits for Arizona.
Matt Williams sharing a laugh with him. Matt Williams still wearing those bell-bottom slacks. I am going to call his beautiful wife Erica and tell him that just doesn't look like Matty, does it?
No.
We're going to have to nickname him like one of those historic baseball players. He's going to be Matt Trousers Williams.
Trousers. Oh boy, Trousers. Did we decide if we're going to stick with the Sheriff, or is Mark Reynolds going to actually be Soap Dish?
No, Kelly Johnson's Soap Dish.
Oh, Kelly's Soap Dish.
Yeah. Okay. Mark Reynolds, I think the Sheriff.
Now, he loves that nickname.
He does. Well, he should.
Remember a couple of years back when we surprised him with a couple of New York's finest.
Oh, that's right.
And one of the gentlemen, I believe maybe a Puerto Rican descent, said in a very strong accent, a New York City policeman.
Why don't you like that nickname?
I heard you don't like the nickname the Sheriff. And Mark had no idea it was coming. We surprised him with it. We didn't have any idea he was going to say it. We told the gentleman.
Mark Rose all of a sudden sounded like Porky Pig. And even one of the New York's finest said, well, we might make it difficult for you to get out of New York if you don't start accepting that nickname.
The 2-1. That's a good memory. We'll see if we can dig that up for the next couple of days. You could see while we were shooting, you could see the pack of rats at Shea Stadium just running around in the background.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I miss old Shea Stadium. And also miss those warts I used to have.
Inside, 3-2 the count. Steven walked back in the first inning, 0 for 3 after that. And his nickname is Dirt. And that's ball 4. So he's walked twice. And the bases are full for Gerardo Park. A great story on how Steven got that nickname.
Really now? Do tell. We'll have to break out that old archive as well in Florida. Nice. A scintillating story. I wasn't expecting it.
1-0 the count to Parra. LaRose double. Reynolds single. Drew walked. Pitch is high. Almost threw that one sidearm, did the veteran left-hander.
Feliciano, a guy that really is used a lot by Jerry Manuel. He is a left-handed specialist, but now all of a sudden he's getting into the high 20s with his pitch counts. And now you're worrying about just how much you've got left in the tank for the rest of this series.
Bouncing ball, diving attempt, Castillo. Everybody saved. Parra with an RBI. You can make it a dozen for the Diamondbacks. Second RBI of the night for Gerardo.
Back up the middle. You love the effort from Castillo. Down by 10 runs, and you're still diving, trying to save your pitching staff. Going hard all the way with Stephen Drew. I like to call him Dirt. That'll bring up Augie Minnow Ojeda.
Minnow, boy, that's a good nickname.
That's what they call Robert Murkowski. Minnow. I think that kind of fits for Augie Ojeda.
I like it better than Spike. One and 0 the count to Augie Ojeda to come up with a nickname for Rusty Ryle, who waits on deck.
Oh, there's Rusty.
One and 1 the count. July 2nd against the Dodgers. Arizona also scoring 12 runs in that game with only 1 home run. That was Kirk Gibson's first game as a manager. Haven't been many wins to follow.
No, unfortunately.
Boy, big chance for Augie to really sit down at the table and eat.
3-1 count now with 2 outs and the bases loaded.
Get just 2 RBIs this season. There's 3 of them standing out there right now. Bouncing ball to the hole. Get in there, it does. There's an RBI for Augie. So Minnow makes it 13-1.
That's one of the better nicknames, and that's a happy Jim Weber.
He was cheering and cheering, the Augie, oi, oi chants.
Got a fastball in the middle of the plate, put it right in the perfect spot, through the hole on the left side. That plated Mark Reynolds. And Rusty Ryle going to get his opportunity.
Rusty at 280. He's got a couple of homers, 7 RBIs.
Let's see, what can we nickname Rusty Ryle?
Right back to the screen.
Oh, here's a good one. How about Copperhead?
Copperhead. Oh, he's got the red hair.
Yeah.
I like that one.
And he strikes quickly like a copperhead.
Ooh, now we're talking. If you missed it earlier, I had a chance to attend and broadcast for some historic baseball, circa 1867 back in Michigan. So we've got the roster with some great nicknames. As that one is outside, and we're having a little fun with them. So Copperhead, huh?
No, I'm just bouncing things off of you here.
I give that a almost full thumbs up.
How about Slide Rule?
Slide Rule. The 1-1. Bouncing ball. Over the plate is Castillo. I think I like Copperhead better.
There's Rusty. There's Minnow. I like the nicknames. Those are big league.
Part of the offensive explosion tonight. He was not alone. Justin Upton. A 16-hit attack for Arizona, piling up hit after hit after hit. And Mark Reynolds off the facing of Fridays in left field. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, and our good friends and partners with APS, lead it tonight. Chad Paul's looking to put a couple of outs quickly on the scoreboard and get this ball game to its finality. On for the 39th time this year, an ERA of over 8. A lot of hits allowed in 31 1/3 innings. There's Rusty. Copperhead, he is in left. Farr moves to center. Bouncing ball out to short. Stephen Drew. Dirt in time for the out. Rod Barajas is erased.
Castillo.
And here's Luis Castillo. Gracie and I will be back with you tomorrow night. Pre and post game programming. Glad to have you with us. These same New York Mets we mentioned, Barry Enright, the pride of Pepperdine, R.A. Dickey, out of the University of Tennessee, knuckleballer. And hang with us for Quest Diamondbacks Live, our post game show. Todd and Joe will host. All Diamondbacks tonight to this point with one out. The man standing in the on-deck circle was speaking about Qualls before the game, Jeff Francoeur, saying, I'll tell you, for my money, watching him occasionally get hurt with sliders or breaking balls, he just keeps throwing that sinker. He's going to be plenty good enough. But sometimes pitchers, and he said, I'm guilty as a hitter of trying to do too much. He said, I've watched a lot of games, whether it's on his laptop, Francoeur saying he likes to tune in the Diamondbacks back on the East Coast when his night is over. That's why that sinker can be so effective. Look at the effort by Augie. That's a great sinking fastball, and Castillo just pounded it into the dirt.
Ojeda probably wouldn't have had a chance with the speed of Castillo, but still a great effort. You love to see the effort. It's been an inspired effort tonight by these guys, Darren Sutton.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it.
They played a solid 9 innings of baseball. The effort was there for 25 outs. Now you're hoping for 27 outs shortly.
So Francoeur gets a chance to face Qualls, as he was speaking about him before the game.
Oh, here's a good nickname. We probably should give this to Jeff Francoeur. Watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermelon Francoeur.
The 1-0. There's another fastball, the sinker in. Yeah, that is a good nickname.
I think he'd like that one.
He likes just about anything.
He's a good man.
1-1 the count. Scored his frame a couple of days ago for Qualls. He went 1 inning, didn't allow anything, throwing 12 pitches in that 8-5 loss to San Diego. There's a slider. He threw one, and Francoeur pops it into shallow center field. Gerardo Parra, who had moved over, puts that one away. Now 1 out to victory.
So Watermelon will have to go back to the dugout. He just missed that one. Now they actually call him Frenchie.
They do call him Frenchie. You have to come up with a good nickname for Chad Qualls at some point.
Let's see what we can come up with. No, you can't really call him Lefty, can you?
No.
Oh, here's a good one. Robert Tarr, they call him Painless.
Painless. Lifted into left center field, racing his Parra. It's over his head. It'll go to the wall. Castillo out front. Reyes stops at second with a double. And 13-2 the score. Balls is touched up by Reyes with his second hit. He's been RBI. 34 runs batted in.
Sinker stays up in the middle of the zone, and that's a really nice job of hitting right there by Reyes, drilling it into left center field. So the Mets just not ready to go away quite yet as Castillo scores with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. Chris Carter gonna pinch hit.
As Carter digs in, a fan hollers out, "Come on, Gary."
No, that's not the Hall of Famer Gary Carter. No, it's Chris Carter.
Former Diamondback Chris Carter. 17th round pick in 2004 out of Stanford. Qualls fires that one outside. 3-0 the count.
Always had some power in the minor leagues.
And first big league home run sail out earlier this year.
Four wide ones from Qualls. In this situation, if you're Mel Stottlemyre, what are you saying to Chad Qualls right here?
I'm not quite sure. We'll have to ask him.
I think a lot of times what a pitching coach or maybe even an infielder will see is just some bad rhythm. You know, maybe the double might have shook him up a little bit and the run scored, so he got into a bad rhythm. So now you just come out and maybe just break up that bad rhythm and see what happens. I think that's about all you can do in that situation. It's a 10-run game. I'm sorry, it's an 11-run game.
And the baton is passed to Justin Turner.
It's well said.
There's a slider at the belt. 0-1 the count to Turner. He's hitting .297 in AAA Buffalo. Began the season with the Baltimore Orioles. Popped up. And Miguel Montero sees it about 15 rows back. Man from Fountain Hills ends up with that baseball.
Good for them to make the drive down from the East Valley. And now the fans are on their feet. Wanting Chad Qualls to end it with a strikeout.
1-2 the count as that one sails away. The New York Mets, already knowing that Philadelphia lost to St. Louis 8-4, idle tonight the Atlanta Braves, who came in leaders in the Eastern Division. And Atlanta loving what they're seeing tonight. Just got a piece.
Since the meeting with Mel Stottlemyre, all sliders. 4 straight sliders to Turner.
The 1-2. Over the top of a sinker, but just got a piece of it. So we'll do it again. 1-2 the count. Ian Kennedy tonight went 5 very solid innings. Gave up 4 hits, 1 run. 116 innings this year. And he'll pitch, Kennedy will, to about 180, 185. Good night all around for Arizona. As Gracie said, spirited baseball. And this should do it. Stephen Drew for a flip over to Augie Ojeda, and Minnow steps on the bag. The Diamondbacks win it by a score of 13-2. Good news all around. Solid starting pitching. We challenged the starters coming on the air. Struggling this season, and a step in the right direction. Certainly the offense, just 1 home run, Gracie. A good night to be a Diamondback tonight.
Oh, no question. They played one of their best ball games of the year on the mound. Ian Kennedy, a much-deserved win with 5 innings. And then the bullpen, only 1 run in the final 4 innings. And, boy, there was, from the get-go, a lot of offense, Darren. A very inspired effort, as you said.
Inspired baseball for the Diamondbacks up here in the broadcast booth. Order is restored as the Diamondbacks find their way to victory. No more tomfoolery on the air on Fox Sports Arizona. Gracie and I bring you the win.